Alright, hello everybody and welcome to Sim Update 1. It is publicly available. It's an 8.7 gigabyte update on the PC. Not sure what it is on Xbox. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through the entire changelog, so this might take a little bit, but we'll go through all of it. One thing I do want to mention is Sim Update 1 is here, but unfortunately the marketplace is not. At least that's what I saw, so here we go. We're going to dive on in, everybody. Sim Update 1 1.3.23.0 is available now to the public. This is not beta anymore. This is the full release. So, let us begin. Ooh, boy. Marketplace. Many of you are eagerly anticipating the inclusion of the Marketplace. We are excited to share that the Marketplace is coming shortly, as we are making final tweaks to ensure it meets everyone's expectations. So, I'll probably next week. We'll see. But anyways, stability and performance. Fixed rare crash during airport generation. Fixed crash when selecting livery after reloading the game while not flying the default variation. Fixed crash when using skip to feature at beginning of exam. Fixed potential crash when switching on-off the VR mode during a flight. Renamed bandwidth to download and display FPS panel to avoid misinterpretation by the community. Optimized texture memory usage of WASM gauges. Fixed crash when closing the game during package mounting. Fixed crash when many avatars meet up online. Fixed crash on Xbox that would occur when accessing areas close to the intermedian, such as the NFNS airport, for instance. Improved loading times for packages with lots of individual files. General bug fixes. Fixed an issue where the controller was losing inputs if the user went into the filter's advanced map layers, leaving the submenu, then go back in it. Fixed an issue where going to the world map filters layer would sometimes soft lock the user when going to another page. Fixed community packages preventing streamed packages with the same name from being found by the sim. Fixed wrong HUD color, purple-white instead of green on some aircraft. Fixed scene flickering on Xbox sometimes when memory usage is high. Added profanity check on call sign and flight number. Fixed a bug when non-selectable aircraft were not taken into consideration by various system after a mount unmount or after build package. Fixed an issue where going into showcase fixed camera in the camera panel would cause the camera to go in the cockpit view when reopening the same panel. Fixed multiplayer nameplate display range too low. Fixed UI render issue of items outside of their frame. Fixed deluxe premium aviator content not being streamed when booting the game for the first time. The camera panel no longer forces the cockpit view when opened. Fixed swapped colors between offline and online friends. Fixed missing music on legacy Discovery flight activities. Fixed clock hours minutes ink deck events not behaving as expected. Fixed several time-related issues such as Zulu clock set events not behaving as expected. Fixed usage of real-time instead of flight time when initializing switches fixes light issues when starting a flight with a sim time that is different from the real time. Fixed community packages being duplicated inside content.xml on each boot. Already existing duplicates are removed from file on boot. Increased screen exposure under heavy cloud cover. Backwards compatibility bug fixes. Fixed FS 2020 planes exterior lights bleeding into cockpit when displayed in 2024. Fixed wrong font selected when rendering XML gauge elements. Forced 2024 SimVar ambient light sensor to return a very high value if requested from a 2020 sim. Can happen if referencing an instrument that has been updated in 24. Fixed textures referenced in FX files not properly loaded when the package is streamed. Fixed emissives brightness. And now we're on to aircraft, everybody, and it looks like there's a huge list of aircraft fixes, so get ready. Hello, everybody. I'll get the chat once we're done with this. We're reading through the entire changelog, and it looks gigantic. So here are the aircraft fixes. New aircraft, Cessna 185 Skywagon from Coronado. Improve the grouping of 2020 aircraft when an empty ICAO model in the aircraft selector configurator. The Airbus A310-300 memory optimizations, and same for the Airbus A320neo and the Airbus A321. More fixes for the Airbus. Oh wait, is that a different one? No. Yeah, it is. Airbus A330-300. FMS. If you make a custom waypoint in the FMS and store the name as EEP1, and then try and put this on the fixed take, it think the name. What? It think the name is an airport, but it's not, of course. FMS, when below flight level 10,000, speed brackets show 260, should be 255 as margin on CST below flight level 10,000 is 5 knots. I don't know what I'm reading, but I'll read it. FMS, set manage speed target message should also be on top of attitude globe, not just MCDU message. FMS, when you try and add a waypoint on the main flight plan page and it's not in the database, it takes you directly to the create a waypoint page. Hydraulic, acupress, not reducing when you cycle it on the ground, used to work a while ago. Oh, wait, what is this? Is this actually fixes? I'm assuming it's just listing what they fixed. Because it almost seems like bug reports, but anyways. Engine avail coming when N3 still going up, should wait for complete engine start before showing avail. WRX PWS should not show in amber on ECAM memo until TO confirmed test pressed. If not selected on at the moment, it shows all the time. Engine spool up times. XL texture for ground RCR control shown as off, not on, blue like other A330s. XL pre-segment VNAV logic improved. AFS rudder trim reset logic bug fixed. When trying to restart engine in flight with APU, the bleed PSI is always too low even at the correct flight level. From flight level 20,000, you should be able to start them, but aircraft giving 15-16 PSI only from the APU bleed. This is an issue as some users get double engine flameout due to that strange issue and then can't restart the flight at all. I'm assuming this is stuff that's been fixed, that's why it's labeled like that. All sounds too loud, as if master volume raised to 200%. Cargo door issues, APU bleed air logic not respecting ceiling, C&D panel floodlights are on, dome light not having an effect on the overhead panel, C&D clock setting, WXR RDR 0.0 degree missing plus, turn off and taxi lights are too dim, and ND WXR RDR brightness knob rotation offset. So I'm assuming all that stuff was fixed on the A330-300. Next up, the Airbus A400 Atlas multiplayer audio is not heard by other players. Audio missing tire sound effects on touchdown. Airspeed indicator color marker ranges does not match. WASAM crash section page off plan WP entry. Sound external view versus internal view loudness levels. NW water dust spray bug. Chocks and GPU not visible bug. Erratic ETA to NEX and nav plan display. Engine audios are out of spec. ISA reading +1 bug edited. Again, don't know what I'm reading, but those are all fixes for that. That was all A400, or the 400M Atlas, I should say. Holy crap, the Albatross has a gigantic list. I don't know if I'm gonna, we'll go through all of it, whatever. The amphibian aerospace Albatross G111, landing lights on HU-16 stuck in down position and always illuminated. Co-pilot and passengers not showing up after loading in EFB. Autopilot not holding altitude and versus properly, vertical speed. ATC misidentified the HU-16 as a diamond aircraft. Window edge blur artifacts. American flag on starboard side of HU-16 vert tail needs to be flipped. HU-16 sponson water effects misplaced. G1000 CDI nav source frequency swap. Control and lighting issues. You can now stand up in the nose hatch opening. Improvements to water and wake effects. ATC was misidentifying the HU-16 and G111 as a diamond aircraft fix. They are now identified as Grummins. Turn coordinator animations fixed. HU-16 only. Engine torque gauges fixed. G111 only. Landing light angle control switches were reversed. Transponder state on apron cold and dark start now properly, set to standby mode. HU-16 nose bubble and G111 side window bubble flickering in external views fixed. Window edge blur refraction artifacts. Tire animations corrected. They were visibly desynchronizing from wheels at low speeds. Workaround fix implemented for amphibian wheels constantly spinning while operating on water. The underlying sim bug causing this remains but is hidden now. 2024 is currently buggy windshield rain effect temporarily replaced with a working 2020 version until Asobo can implement a permanent fix. Voltage meter reading fixed when gen mode selected. Fixed strobe light bulb distance visibility. G1000 CDI nav source, frequency swap, brightness and input fixes. EFB flight plan sending to G1000 and GNS 530 fixed. G111 panel strip light and map lights fixed. All HU16 avionics brightness issues fixed. Warning light brightness discrepancies fixed. American flag on starboard side of HU16 vertical tail was incorrectly orientated. Autopilot was not holding altitude and vertical speed. I read that one already. Landing lights on the HU16 were stuck in the down position. And why am I wait? What is? Kind of reading some of these various tooltips fixed. Walk around item click spots. Fussiness reduced. Fixed multiplayer wing flex issues. All new custom propeller animations created. Interesting. New HU16 variant, search and rescue version with nose, radome, and medical stretchers. Cosmetic only. See career mode compatibility problem and known issue. Ooh, maybe we'll get some other planes in here too. We'll see. But anyways, new G111 variant long range external tanks version. Anchor lights implemented on both aircraft. Nose hatch and upper cockpit hatches are now exitable to a degree. G111 cockpit reflections and lighting improved. Significantly improved bow and pylon splash and wake effects, simplified propeller wash effect. Several minor model and texture improvements throughout both aircraft. Several weight and balance handling and performance accuracy improvements. Pylon water drag increased. The pylons will react more realistically to wave hits now, causing the plane to yaw slightly, but be very careful about putting too much pressure on them, as hard water impacts can now destroy the plane, just as in reality. EFB aircraft outline background added to weight and balance pages. EFB now mounted in aircraft above pilot's side windshield can be toggled on and off. Cargo stations now available for loading. New clipboard options display or hide the EFB and its mount in the cockpit. Anchor deployment retraction and windshield cleaning and insect suppression. Pilot's guide PDF updated. Beacon light was bleeding through the aft cabin on the G111. Landing lights occasionally non-functional on flight start. Implemented a new workaround method for this, but the underlying bugs still need to be fixed by Asobo. Right aileron trim actuators were not attached properly on the airframe model. Propeller blades were not animating correctly to coarse pitch when in feathered mode. Landing lights angles can no longer be set differentially between left and right, but they should now show correctly in multiplayer. Rudder trim total effectiveness slightly reduced, allowing for finer controls. Aileron drag as moderate to high deflection angles reduced. Workaround for major rendering issues with windshield refraction. Windshield texture improvements. Smoother oil cooler flap and cowl flap animations. GPS and avionics emissive values fixed. Windshield edging flickering fixed. Insects removed from fuselage side glass. HU-16 cockpit label fixes. Royal Canadian Air Force livery added. Beacon light was bleeding through into the aft cabin of the G111. Landing lights occasionally non-functional. I read this, so this is kind of the same stuff that the 111 had. You get the point. So those were all the fixes for both the G111 and HU-16 aerospace albatross. Tons there. If you're just joining, we're going through the changelog really quick. We already went through changes for the Airbus A310, the A320, the A321, the A330-300, the Airbus 400M the Atlas, and then the Albatross we just went through. Next up, Beechcraft Baron G58. Tail number does not show up on the external view. Engine exhausts lack heat animation. Multiple issues with tooltips. Navigation, strobe, and wing light bulbs are too dim. Camera is in the aircraft during the RTC because of the RTC node's position. SimVar flaps current speed limitation incorrectly set. Aircraft will move after turning on the engines even with parking brake set. Covers are not removed when loading the taxi.flt. No collision on wings. Prop sync in op. Alt load is faked. Indicators are still in the green when turning both alt off. Cowl flap not animating. Prop feathering not animated correctly. Registration livery colors. Adjustment to make career compatibility work. Ooh. Oh, wait. I'm excited to get in. Anyways. Unable to load Copilot. Aircraft becomes disabled in career when updating from 0.0.6 package to 0.0.8 if purchased in career with previous package. File path structure changed. Most button and switches don't have sound effects. Multiple knobs and switches lack audio. I'm still kind of confused. Like, I'm seeing things that I don't know if those are fixed or what's going on, but I guess we'll find out. The Beechcraft Bonanza. Oh my goodness, can I finally see something that says people aren't hanging outside the plane, please? Multiple buttons don't have tooltips in cabin view. No pitot covers. Samvar flaps current speed limitation incorrectly set. The door doesn't close itself when the avatar enters the aircraft, and it's possible to fly with the door open. Pilot and co-pilot navigation graph are badly positioned. Some passenger node from navigation graph had wrong orientation. Parking brake is not set up when starting cold and dark. Exterior visual checks. Electrical synopsis always shows 0. Cowl flaps don't animate. Yoke click spot too big, cannot select some light switches when hidden. Nav1 radio does not play audio. Title crashes when loading into free flight on Xbox. Water and dust visual effects not present. Propeller controller does not visually alter pitch of prop. Fuel pump switch is inoperable when interactive with the cockpit. PAX nodes too close to the aircraft. Rear cabin door interaction. Screen visor interaction. Tail texture issue and nose gear compression animation. I'm surprised I'm not seeing anything about people, but we'll see. Maybe they'll be in the career tab. Beechcraft C90 GTX King Air. Add avionic W20 or WT21 version 2. Tooltips and checklist items. Improved execution of pre-flight inspection. Improved LOD external and internally. Improved contact points. Improved animation externally and internally. Improved lights, heat, and dirt effects. Improved liveries layout. Chocks invisible at medium distance. Multiple issues with the audio inside the cockpit. Player is not able to remove engine covers on the left wing during pre-flight. The Boeing 737 MAX 8. Fixed CLB derate logic to be in accordance with the FCOM. CLB1 and CLB2 derate modes now revert to CLB when the derate fades out at high altitude. Fixed an issue where CDU2 would be blank when spawning on the runway. Fixed takeoff speeds deleted, sometimes showing incorrectly when spawning on the runway. Fixed ident page navigation database dates. Added landing alt flag on PFD and improved landing altitude logic. Where did... Oh, refresh. There we go. Hang on, I'm back. Removed landing altitude from HUD altitude tape. Now targeting plus 0.1 PSID cabin pressure differential during takeoff. Takeoff pre-pressurization only happens if the engines are running and bleed air is available now. Removed altitude trend vector from PFD. Alright, Boeing 747-400 Global Supertanker. Working title fixed. The Supertanker. Change list. Added APU heat blur. Added APU knob immersive. Added APU switches to the before starting engines checklist. Added EFB to the cockpit. Added EFB takeoff and landing performance tables. Fixed studio name and aircraft selection title. Fixed duplicate runway legs inserted into the flight plan with some SIDs. Fixed pilot defined waypoints failing to insert and not calculating correct flight path. Hang on, let me get my game open here. Should be here. There it is. Alright, oh, what is it? Oh, there's an update in the Windows Store, I guess? Anyways, let's see here. Fixed pilot defined waypoints failing to insert and not calculating correct flight path. Fixed flight paths at the connection between star and approach transition. Fixed merging of approach transition and final approach when the transition joins the FAF. Fixed the bank limiter or limit selector and made it default to the auto position. Improved altitude select knob input acceleration. Alright, let me see if I can find my updates here. Alright, let's see here. McStallion, if you're on the beta, it's going to be a few hours for you to get this. If you don't want to wait a few hours, you can go to the Xbox Insider Hub and get out of the beta, and then the update will push to your full-on regular version of the sim. So just keep that in mind. If you're on the beta, you need to do that. in order to get the update. But if you want to stay on the beta, it's going to be a few hours. All right, continuing on, the Boeing 747 Dreamlifter, working title, also fixed this one. Fixed excessive turn radius on ND for approach and missed approach legs. Added automatic loading of airport transition altitude and level. Implemented update simulation of aircraft hydraulics, including wear and tear, and allowing for partial or full system. Why does this keep resetting here? Or full systems to be disabled. Fixed auto start, not starting engines. Goodness gracious. Takeoff pre-pressurization only happens if the engines are running and bleed air is available now. Now targeting a plus 0.1 psid cabin pressure. Added LDG landing alt flag on PFD. Some of the same stuff we already read through. Fixed rough autopilot altitude capturing. Fixed EFB performance data distance calculations. Fixed VNAV path overshoot at TD when descent speed was equal or slightly lower than the cruise speed. And then the other stuff was kind of, and then another thing, added alternate gear extension, added engine vortex ground effects, and fixed autopilot disconnect bar animation. Next up, the whatchamardingus, the 787 Dreamliner. So I'm just trying to see what's happening. I don't know if I'm getting another update or what the deal is. I know it's a blank screen right now, but hopefully I don't have to reinstall the sim here. We'll see. But anyways, 787 Dreamliner. The altitude selector now stops at the selected baro minima when in the auto position. Correct turn radius on ND for approach and missed approach legs. Fixed an issue where an inactive route had to be executed twice and some data was lost. Added automatic loading of airport transition altitude and level. Takeoff pre-pressurization only happens. Same things that we were listing off. I'm not going to say the same things over and over again. Fixed inverted tooltip values on emergency light switch. Fixed rough autopilot altitude capturing. Disabled FD door access knob since no animation currently exists for it. Fixed inverted mouse scroll wheel interaction on emergency light switch. Fixed EFB performance data distance calculations. Fixed interior of cargo doors not being animated. Fixed rudder pedals not animating correctly. Fixed the InSim checklist to include everything in the CDU checklists. Added engine vortex ground effects. Fixed avionics not loading. Fixed rudder not moving linearly. Fixed AP disconnect bar animations and fixed inverted emergency light switch. The Boeing C-17 Globemaster III Miltech. These are the changes there. Contrast and weathering on all liveries improved throughout. Main landing gears sinking on the ground on heavy loads. Added additional weathering to cockpit feature or textures. Rivets white outline when viewed from afar. Improved engine cowling texture. Primer livery registration incorrect. Ground spoiler arm knob corrected the tooltips. Increased resolution on tablet EFB textures. Maximum fuel load in pounds displaying incorrectly due to wrong fuel type on flight model. When spawning on the runway, stab trim is configured for takeoff. ATC designation fixed. Incorrect naming order in aircraft resolved. Again, if you're just joining, Marketplace is still going to be listed as coming soon. Unfortunately, it didn't make the release of this. I'm assuming we're in the right one. Yes, we are. And yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Anyways, COM SKE tooltips corrected. Issues on the engine geometry. Other minor tooltip edits. ATC call signs overwritten for some liveries. Stab trim alarm adjusted. RB and BA was inverted on the HUDs. Course variables completely disconnected from Vario's navigation display screen. I'm just kind of doing this and looking through the menus really quick. ETA to destination at low speeds calculation improved. Transponder on ND now displaying correctly mode. Overspeed, I'm assuming that means correct mode. Overspeed alarm triggering at 250 knots under 8,000 feet. Yaw dampener not engaging with autopilot when using keybinds, hardware binds. Aircraft nose disappearing on walk-around mode. Various LOD issues. Engine blast effects detached fixed. Multi-language LOC translations added. Added documentation page to EFB with links direct to the aircraft manual. Walk-around items improved. Engine covers can now be removed from walk-around. Added tire pressure checks to pre-flight. Oh, I went to that one. I went to the wrong thing there. SEC hydraulic pumps are on. APU can be started without fuel pumps, but will be fuel deprived after 2 minutes if boost pumps are off. Engine ignition will auto switch off when N2 are greater than 52%. Added APU to allow feeding from fuel manifold. Fuel transfer among tanks is now possible using the fill and XFER valves pumps. Engine crossfeed is now possible. Fuel dump is now possible, and cargo bay flag temporarily disabled being moved and reanimated. And that was fixes for the C-17. The Chinook. Fix highlights for external interactions. Fix pins for external... Fix pins for them. Adjust checklist for external pre-flight. Change interaction direction for wiper knob. Change tooltips for starter selector switch. Move cockpit windows to external model to fix reflections. Adjust bottom position of external ramp. Add engine and inlet covers. Fix auto shutdown scripted behavior. And fix for fuel quantity total displays and add text for localizations, as well as fixes to various tooltips on circuit breaker panel, ICS panel, and fuel panel, and fix to the animation on radar altimeter, high limit knobs. I'm not seeing anything new on the cargo side, but again, we'll go through. Cessna 172 Skyhawk G1000, fixed aircraft icon on MFD being displayed as a dot instead of an aircraft. A lot of stuff for the AG truck. Pilot position spawn point, improved interior LODs, improved exterior LODs, improved LODs landing gear, fixed checklist highlights tooltips cameras, improved cockpit light emissivity, improved spray effect, improved hub spray system indicators, fixed highlights and checklist tooltips, circuit breakers implemented, fixed landing gear compression dampering, fixed external power animation, added dynamic remove before flight ribbon, added exhaust heat effect, 3D liveries improvement, improved exterior registration plates, added dust ground marking effect, and fixed exterior light textures. The aircraft is missing agricultural features that are required for career mode. Stick cannot be grabbed by VR controllers. Minor discrepancy with manual in before takeoff checklist. Turn coordinator lags after initial input is made by pilot. Is not available for purchase in career mode, new or used. Are also fixed, apparently. The Cessna 208B Grand Caravan EX, fixed MFD icon being a dot instead of an aircraft. The Corvallis Coronado made fixes to upgraded to WT G1000 V2, fixed propeller shadow, added a exhaust heat effect, 3D liveries improvement, improved pre-flight inspection tooltips, added dynamic remove before flight ribbon, improved interior LODs as well as exterior, static discharger animations, improved oil measurements and baggage door animations, improved propeller and spinner LODs, improved exterior registration plates, improved cabin cockpit light emissivity, added dust ground markings effect, and nose wheel disconnection with rudder. Props do not change angles when feathering, LOD popping on Cessna C400 Corvallis TT instrument panel, pitot heat does not accelerate de-icing of pitot tube, unable to naturally pick up icing, takeoff and landing performance does not load properly, no mention of increasing throttle before doing a magneto check-in checklist, shutdown checklist missing checks, before takeoff checklist missing checks, missing after start checklist. How many times can I say check? Missing hot engine start checklist. Only one fuel cap can be interacted with. Missing interior pre-flight checklist. Passengers can be seen walking next to the aircraft while completing the VIP private charter. It's fixed. That means my Bonanza must be fixed too. Thank God. Aircraft has difficulty accelerating beyond white arc. Z-flighting on battery switches, spawning the plane in a dense area like KJFK, and EGLL causes title to crash Xbox with Lockhart profiling. Missing takeoff checklists, and aircraft can exceed service ceiling. The Cessna 404 Titan added 4 more liveries. FO heading indicator flips crossing 0. Radio stack disappears at night. Cockpit lights and some panel instruments work without power. FO altitude indicator upside down in landing view. LODs improvements. Medic assets adjustments. Texture improvements. Mixture levels disaligned. Some animation of cargo variants were not working fine. Cargo door and oil compartment automatically close, moving away. Passengers position adjustments. Nav source selector 3D and texture correction. HSI bug fixed. Emissivities lights adjustments. Front wheel correction. Misplaces chocks. Starts specialization addition in aircraft.cfg. Compass animation. Unnatural propeller audio is heard when increasing throttle in cockpit. Propellers change pitch depending upon zoom. All right. Oh, they did a lot of changes too. I'm not going to read all of them. That's just the main thing for the what did I say this was? Was this the Titan? No, this was the Corvallis that we just read through. No, the Titan. Apologies. I'm getting all over the place here. A lot of the avionics were upgraded to a version 2. The Cessna Citation CJ4 added new default livery with fixed Z fighting. Temporarily remove all default liveries until Z fighting is fixed. I don't know what any of that means, but that is it for the CJ4. Longitude. Temporarily remove all default liveries until Z fighting is fixed. Added additional EFB checklists. Added an additional instrument camera preset that gives a view of all avionics screens except the Copilot outboard GTC. Adjusted some instrument camera presets. The toggle all aircraft doors and so forth key events now work properly for all doors. Fixed an issue where the baggage door would remain open after playing the passenger boarding cinematic in career missions. Fixed the display of the CAS messages on the PFD. Fixed an issue where sometimes the parking brake lever could not be moved. Fixed an issue where the PTCU could sometimes provide hydraulic power to a system using the hydraulic pumps without an electrical power source or cross-system hydraulic pressure. Disabled the emergency exit. The SR-22's seen some fixes. I'll just kind of glance through these. I want to get to like some main ones that I know people use a lot of. That way we're not here for too long. The Vision Jet. Working title fixed Cirrus Vision SF-50. Added additional non-English localization. Fixed engine sounds during engine start. Fixed an issue where the airplane was using the incorrect fuel type. Windshield IPS now correctly cycles between pump 1 and pump 2. The aircraft status synoptic now displays the correct amount of windshield IPS fluid in text. The ice protection synoptic now displays the correct windshield IPS state. Fixed airspeed indicator color bands on the external HUD. Added EFB takeoff and landing performance data. The selected altitude is now rounded to the nearest 10 feet when using altitude sync. Autopilot is no longer inhibited while on the ground or below 400 feet AGL. Fixed the tooltip description for the baggage door. Fixed an issue where the interaction for the speed increase-decrease wheel was inverted. Adjust the maximum allowed airspeed references set by FMS based on aircraft configuration. The instrument lighting knob now changes the backlight intensity of the G3000 screens and GTC buttons and knobs. Adjusted the positions of the pilot and quick view cameras. Thank goodness, the quick view cameras were terrible on the Vision Jet. The auto throttle disconnect button on the left side of the throttle lever handle now has the correct function instead of being used as a toga button. Toga button interaction was moved to a click spot to the left of the throttle lever near the forward end of the handle. You may also interact with the toga button through a secondary interaction on the throttle lever. Some fixes for the DV20, a lot of stuff that we've kind of been reading through. The C-Star has seen some fixes as well. Engine sound level was raised, visor behavior updated, exterior mesh improved, all that good stuff. Oh, I'm glad I'm skipping that. They did like 8,000 change. The Draco X, fully localized. Temporarily removed heat blur effects while in VR. Updated various LOC strings that were incorrect, missing from Polish and Japanese data. Fixed left pump LOC string, creating issues with checklist items. Removed ambient cockpit lighting, causing issues with 24. Added parking brake condition to taxi flight plan for career stability. Modified first aid kit artwork. Increased display brightness for better manual brightness control via G3X Touch. Fixed fuel flow issue that was blocking both from working correctly on fuel selector. Replaced various multiplayer variables to alleviate G3X and propeller flickering. Fairchild Republic A10 Thunderbolt to Warthog. New flight model using FS24 surface definitions integrated. Several aerodynamic entries modified for better handling based on GSE FM. External LODs fixed as per recent DevOps ticket. Readjusted EFB cargo screen. Moved avionics load station closer to weapons to improve visibility and usability of this menu. Package restructure. Added cosmetic weapons. Resolved problems with trim and stability of the aircraft. New surface definitions added to the flight model. Readjusted EFB cargo tab to improve visibility and usability. Some fixes to the flight design CTSL, the Jetson Area Jetson 1, the JBM Aircraft VL3, the Joby Aviation, the Magni M24 Orion, the Pilatus PC6B2, updated .flt files, fixed engine start, fixed missing aircraft registrations, fixed missing engine instruments in G950 MFD, changes to auto start procedure, fixed canopy cover visible in skydive career mode, added search and rescue career support for gauge wheels and G950 wheels variant, fixed elevator trim on G950 floats and gauge wheels variants, fixed invisible chocks on float variant when loaded cold and dark, added more water effects for float variant. Doors are now closing automatically when ground speeds exceed 10 knots. Aircraft can only be exited using the door handle when on the ground, and parking brake is set. If the parking brake is not set, only the doors open and the pilot cannot exit the aircraft. Fixed missing tooltips and descriptions, and fixed landing light retraction and extensions. And god dang it, I need some water. Alright, here we go. The PC-12, improved LODs, improved 3D liveries, improved cargo door animation, correction of liveries orders, improved medical equipment LODs, improved cargo version interior textures, improved inertial separator operation. Oh, alright. Odd object and free cam. Unable to hear another player's aircraft engine in multiplayer. Climate control is in-op. Unable to input airway into Epic 2. Pressure dump does not do anything. Checklist cannot be manually completed. I need to get some water really quick. Hang on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna lose my voice. Whew, alright, I'm back. Goodness gracious. But we're still on the PC-12. You're just joining. God dang it, man. I love that this is such a huge changelog, though. We needed this. No doubt about it. Alright, checklist cannot be manually completed. DME not showing on ILS approach. EPS does not power oxygen, ESI, standby attitude, or pressurization system. It should power all three. Landing gear hydraulic audio is missing when activated in external camera view. Oh, man. A few buttons and engine do not have a tooltip. EFB takeoff and landing performance tools not working. MFD swap does not work. Course knob adjustment reaction is too slow, takes too much scrolling to actually get to selected course. Aircraft battery does not drain while generators are disabled. Upper and co-pilot display units turn on even when the battery only power. They should not. Auto throttle does not respect ITT limits and causes engine damage in career mode. Flashing amps and battery caution CAS and EIS lower DU during normal startup. Auto start and auto stop shortcuts do not work on a controller. Oxygen system is at 0 at all times. Hypoxia in career mode due to oxygen pressurization ECS not modeled correctly. Strange ice visuals on props. Rain animation missing from the cockpit of the PC-12. Exhaust effects are overly exaggerated. VOR needle color is incorrect. Taxi lights do not illuminate the ground. Main pilot seatbelts are not mounted and do not disappear when in the cockpit camera. Characters in the air ambulance variant are improperly seated. Aural chime sound plays when starting the aircraft in external camera view. Aircraft engine audio is 5 LU quieter than recommended level when at full throttle while on the ground. Cabin temp controls not working correctly and are crossed out on MFD. Nose wheel door has misaligned numbers. Yaw dampener is not highlighted by visual helper. Propeller feathering changes abruptly upon engine shutdown. Exterior icing effects act unnaturally in two places. ECS pressurization system is inoperative. They've listed out a bunch for some reason. I'm assuming those are fixed since they're here. We'll check that all out. And floating button upon hiding Copilot yoke, and there we go. The Pipistrel Taurus M's received fix. The Virus SW121. The Power Shoot Sky Rascal. The Slin Aviation Savage Norden. And those are all the planes. We've made it through the planes, everybody. Holy crap. Now we're on to the aircraft core systems. Fuel system fixed an issue that caused the fuel type parameter to be ignored from the fuel section if the fuel system section was defined with a version of 6 or latest. Fixed an issue causing some aircraft to start with 0 fuel. Glass cockpits fixed the avionic displays who became extremely overexposed. G1000NXI, the autopilot is now inhibited from activating altitude capture mode, ALTS, for a short time each time the autopilot's pre-selected altitude is manually triggered or changed. Fixed an issue where sometimes approaches added to the flight plan could have improper connections between the approach transition and the final approach segment. Fixed false positives when filtering RMP-AR approaches that are unavailable. Fixed an issue where the electrical power state of Navcom radios were sometimes incorrectly represented. Garmin G3000 and G5000, the autopilot is now inhibited from activating altitude capture mode. Fixed an issue where sometimes approaches added to the flight plan could have improper connections between the approach transition and the final approach segment. Fixed false positives when filtering RMP-AR, and fixed the display of waypoint ident in certain parts of the GTC Direct2 page. The Garmin G3X Touch fixed an issue where after syncing the EFB flight plan to the G3X, en-route waypoints would not be loaded correctly if the first 2 waypoints in the flight plan were both airports. The G3X autopilot is now inhibited, same thing we've been reading about activating altitude capture mode. GNS 430 and GNS 530, autopilot's inhibited from ALTS mode. Fixed an issue where sometimes approaches added to the flight plan could have improper connections, and fixed false positives. The LX9070, fixed LX9070 glass cockpit broken UI when flying the DG1001. Primus Epic 2.0 integrated avionic system. Holy good God. Alright. Fixed an issue where the old arrival and approach legs were left in the flight plan after being deselected. Fixed an issue where an enormous leg to the destination runway appeared in the flight plan after the mission approach in some cases. Fixed various input fields not losing focus when the enter key is pressed. Fixed various input fields not being editable via the TSC keyboard. The localizer course is now also set when TuneNav12 is selected for a localizer. Fixed an issue where some facilities did not appear in the select object dialog and improved the layout. Fixed an issue where duplicate waypoints with discontinuities appear in the flight plan when amending the route. When the active leg is being tracked by LNAV, it will now display as magenta, matching the map colors. Fixed handling of the enter button on the direct to random window. Pressing the direct to button on the TSC now scrolls the flight plan to the direct to window. Fixed incorrect procedure legs being removed when changing procedures. Fixed erroneous transitions being displayed for SIDs and stars with no transitions. Fixed star approach transition combinations that are not compatible with existing selections being shown. Fixed vectors approach transition selected by default and no deselectable. Fixed the activate vectors button positioning and logic. Fixed PFD overlay menu on wrong side when the artificial horizon is on the outboard side. Fixed soft buttons on the radio management window affecting other display units as well. Fixed merging of approach, transition, and final approach when the transition joins the FAF. Fixed flight paths at the connection between star and approach transition. 3- and 5-letter airport idents are now accepted as origin and destination. Fixed destination fuel remaining unit on the flight management window. Fixed an issue where the right side TSC outer and inner knob functions were swapped when setting the transponder code. Fixed pilot-defined waypoints failing to insert and not calculating correct flight path. Fixed an issue where TOD and TOC markers could overlap with initial waypoint due to not hiding when below certain speed. Fixed an issue where the origin destination airport waypoint labels could be ranged filtered Fixed flight director coupling button tooltip not appearing. Convert feet in airport elevation to meters. The autopilot now rejects invalid flight director coupling flags. Fixed FMS message alignment on PFD. Selecting to amend the flight plan route now scrolls to the amend route list item. The select object dialog for duplicates is now sorted by proximity to the aircraft. Added multi-function controller event handling for COM, NAV, XPDR, direct to buttons. Added PBD, PBPB info on show info pane. Some avionics settings will now persist between flights. Implemented transponder alternative mode switching. Added a landing gear extended speed limit, which can be set from blah blah blah. Added LIDO and FAA chart viewer with aircraft ownership implemented and third-party ability to extend charts and chart viewer. The ProLine 21 integrated avionics system fixed mod plan being displayed on flight plan page after canceling the mod. Fixed navigation database date handling when the cycle spans between 2 different years. Fixed pilot-defined waypoints failing to insert. Fixed the flight director roll bar showing an inaccurate direction. The UNS-1EW CBAS flight management system fixed power dim overlay not displaying properly on the list page. Fixed not being able to select a departure if a departure with no transitions has already been selected. Fixed departure page not updating runways after inputting a runway. Fixed arrival page not updating date from the flight plan on it being loaded. Fixed merging of approach, transition, and final approach when the transition joins the FAF. Fixed flight paths at the connection between star and approach transitions. Fixed pilot-defined waypoints failing to insert and not calculating the correct flight path. Physics. Fixed helicopter CFD rotor wash aerodynamics issues on edge of platforms. Flight system nav data updated magnetic variation data to WMM 2025 model. And now we're on to fixes to the EFB. Fixed issues where Planair app would drop waypoint name, ICAO, and or altitude from custom waypoints in planned files. Fixed issue where add waypoint button could become invisible on route page in Planair app. Fixed issue where selecting man contingency fuel in Planair app did not allow manual fuel entry. Fixed issue where previous METAR could stay visible when selecting new airport that doesn't have METAR. Added shortcuts to size and rotation on Planair app. Added scale line on Planair app map. Fixed issue with checkmark appearing on hover in procedure selection in Planair app. Fixed issue where clicking on the info bar would attempt to interact with the map in Planair app. Added UI feedback to show while chart is loading in chart viewer. Fixed incorrectly positioned aircraft icon in chart viewer while in landscape mode. Chart viewer will now spring chart back into view if moved beyond the view. Addressed issue where back button could go to the wrong page from chart viewer. Added mouse wheel zooming in chart viewer in Planair app. Fixed issue where runway length was always in meters on airport information page in Planair app. Fixed airport weather TAF page in Planair app missing hour selector. And lastly, fixed status bar, date time being UTC-1 instead of UTC. Aircraft gameplay, pre-flight. Increased default player character camera speed. Adjusted gamepad player character rotate action curves to keep previous sensitivity on this peripheral. Career mode fixes. Here we go. I'm ready. Fixed missions not starting at the date and time indicated in the briefing. Fixed unexpected server error occurring when playing a mission at midnight. Fixed crash when selecting airport to transfer an aircraft. Fixed a crash occurring when transferring an aircraft to a new airport. Fixed profile bar not accessible when using shortcut in the aircraft management page. Fixed unexpected server error after quickly activating and removing active pause. Disabled the skip phase button while in active pause. Mission distribution on the world map has been improved, including VIP charter missions and night missions. These career mode changes will arrive later following the release of Sim Update 1. Okay, so that's not in here just yet. Same with this one. Estimated mission currency reward on the world map now takes reputation bonus into account. Visual only. And that's another one. Oh, everything. These other ones. Oh, there's a lot. Okay. I'll just say it. Everything here is going to be coming in after the release of Sim Update 1. Passive income is now generated when flying employee missions. Fixed an issue where the passive income window is not shown when certain conditions were met meaning that players could not retrieve their passive income. Mission difficulty displayed on the world map has been fixed for the following specializations visual only: agricultural aviation, cargo transport hook, scientific research, private charter, search and rescue. The following specializations have had their base reward increased. These career mode changes will arrive later following the release. So, aerial advertising has a 12.5% increase, aerial agriculture a 75% increase, and that was with a plane. Aerial agriculture rotorcraft 32.5%, aerial firefighting extended attack 35%, initial attack 35%. Aerial construction a 30% increase, cargo transport hook 8.7% increase. Search and rescue in an airplane a 33% increase, as well as rotorcraft 33%, and rotorcraft hoist a 66% increase, and skydiving is receiving a 91% increase in base payout later on after sim updates release. So it's not in the sim right now, but those are changes that are going to be coming following the release of today. So hopefully not too far away. That's great to see those getting a boost in payouts because it needed to be that way for sure. Missions, fix step description indicating wrong input for rotor brake activation. Fix the step announce clear runway that prevented player from reaching the maximum score on airline procedure objective. Remove the ATC step asking to contact the airport at arrival if there's no control tower. Fixed an issue with ATC steps no longer completing if player exited the aircraft after turning the engine on. Fixed multiple textural mistakes throughout career and certifications. Agricultural aviation fixed issues where fields used in agricultural aviation were sometimes covered by trees. Medevac fixed mission flow not continuing when ATC was speaking at the same time as medical crew before patient check. Fixed retract landing gear step appearing during descent phase. Certifications, CPL, Commercial Pilot License Rotorcraft. Fixed an issue with player possibly getting stuck after hard landing if skids were broken. IFR instrument rating. Fixed aviator performance when landing on the right runway. Fixed an issue with CDI and transponder not configured properly. Online services fixed friends aircraft that sometimes does not appear on the world map. Weather fixed all players multiplayer option not saved when setting live time. World, Gaia fixed shared libraries. Fixed multiple jetway model LOD pops at close distance. Updating textures, new assets added. Fixed cliff textures sometimes displayed on photogrammetry buildings. Fixed city lights sometimes displayed on photogrammetry landscapes. Removed giant trees from corrupted tin areas. Fixed a few cases introducing blur in aerials. Aerials no longer use super sampling option, they are now always sharp. Airports fixed airport lights not supporting multiple meshes or route orientation. Fixed strobe pole rotation. Fixed some airport lights spawning with flare but without mesh support. And I'm not going to read through all the changes, but there's some airports that got fixes. JFK, LAX, SEA, Seattle, FLJ, TFFJ, VNLK, EDDM, fixed bridge collision at EDDM. I remember that being a thing where people were falling through the bridges. EDDS, KCGX, LFPB, NTTB, PTNG, YLRE, EDDK, glider airports. 88 glider airports have received LOD improvements. Helipads have seen improvements. Winches, sky launch winch selectable as a launch method. And YLRE, HUEN, and CYTZ receive some fixes. My Library added a conflict pop-up when the user tries to enable multiple versions of the same item. Fixed photogrammetry not being disabled in-game when displaying or disabling photogrammetry package. Fixed items not sorting correctly when sorting by content size. When a user enables a content in My Library, the content is now automatically activated and visible in-game without the need of a reboot. Added a pop-up with loading gauge to feedback on activation and deactivation process time. Fixed swap from an FS24 item to 2020 item. Added the not creator approved information. Fixed several joystick navigation issues. Fixed screen reader which was not reading all tags. Fixed sorting. Fixed filtering. Improved and fixed some localization. Fixed default sorting, showing unavailable content at the start of the list. VR, fixed environment cockpit occlusion not working in the right eye, fixed an issue that caused the yoke hider interaction to fail in VR on the F-18, the 208B, and the 172. And keep that in mind if you're wanting more VR fixes. I believe more is coming in Sim Update 2. Controls, peripherals added feedback when setting the input curve axis sensitivity, fixed an issue where the mouse on Xbox was not working properly, added secondary standalone profiles for certain peripherals. Various peripheral fixes, fixed placeholder image in controller settings, fixed inverted POV and axis mapping on some peripherals, fixed inverted left-right brake axis issue which triggered 100% brake application, and fixed inconsistent menu mapping for help pages. Activities, training, fixed an issue where a player couldn't pass the look-around objective in pre-flight training, fixed multiple textural mistakes in helicopter pedal training, fixed missing engine detent notification to airliner landing training, fixed scoring and a keep CDI centered step of IFR RNAV training, fixed multiple textural issues throughout helicopter training set. Free flight, fixed last used variation livery, added save of the last weather preset, retrieve and set the last used weather choice, fixed additional content not ending in the right category when browsing the plane selector, made so the search bar in the free flight aircraft selection screen now use keywords from all variations of each aircraft model. Fixed flight condition weather live always available. Fixed flight condition live player only available when player is in live time weather. Fixed using always buffered live weather with even in custom preset weather. Now can use server UTC live weather with any date. Known issue, live weather won't apply correctly after using the 24-hour historical weather. And then a bunch of dev stuff. I'm not going to go through that because I don't know what I'm reading there. And we've reached the bottom of the list, everybody. Holy moly, that was 56 minutes of changelog, and now we can dive into the sim, and then I can catch up with chat. But here, hang on. Let me post the changelog really quick. Hold on. Oh my goodness gracious! It's finally. Like, I'm really glad it just popped up because I was really worried about what was going to happen with today's blog update. I wasn't wanting a whole nother. Oh, we're hard at work. It's just it's great that it's finally here. Let's get rolling and improve the sim. Let me just get the changelog really quick if I can find it. There it is. And I will pin that. But that is the changelog. And no, unfortunately, if you're just joining and you're worried or wanting to know about the marketplace, this is what they said. Many of you are eagerly anticipating the inclusion of the marketplace. We are excited to share that the marketplace is coming shortly, as we are making final tweaks to ensure it meets everyone's expectations. And honestly, I can wait a little bit longer on that. I'm just glad we're not waiting for Sim Update 1 because of the marketplace. So it's like it's time to get these fixes going, and then the marketplace can show up probably next week or so if they said shortly. So there we go, everybody. So first thing I want to do is I want to see if my Beechcraft Bonanza I can finally use the plane, because I know the Corvallis was fixed regarding the passengers hanging outside the plane. So let me just find that really quick, and then we'll just kind of dive into some other stuff because I want to test out the Air AG tractor. I want to see what they changed with that for fire agricultural. Oh, I guess we can do it for. No, we'll do it agriculture. Where is it? Oh, we need to test out the R66 as well because we should be able to finish missions with that now. All right, let's see. See if I can finally use my Beechcraft in this. Because now what we're gonna do since we read through the changelog, we'll kind of just go through different missions here and just see what's going on. See if we see some noticeable changes. Hopefully that's the case. They should be fixed because everything that because I was confused at first, but they were labeled as change lists. Even the ones that were saying like what issues they were seeing, I just don't think they renamed it. They kind of just copy paste what they were working on. So those should be fixed as well. I could be wrong on it, but it was part of the change list, so I don't think they would just add issues to the change list. Because it did mention if it wasn't fixed, like known issue, and all that other stuff that I was reading didn't have that. So, oh boy, what are with the oh there? Okay, it was just loading. I was like, what in the world are with those trees? All right, Bonanza, are you finally usable? Are we? Is the era of everybody hanging outside and the pilot breaking through? About to find out. We're not going to do the flight with this. I just want to see after boarding. Because we're going to do a mission with the Pilatus PC-12 to see if the pressurization issue's been fixed. And the Bonanza's still not fixed. I was worried about that because it wasn't in the change log. Oh well. All right, Bonanza is not usable still. I know my Corvallis was, though. There's nobody walking outside of it, but I don't know why the Bonanza still isn't fixed, but... All right, 0 for 1. Next up, we'll dive in the R66. Well, did we even... I didn't even see the Robinson in the change log, because I thought it was labeled as it was fixed, but... Well, maybe it's not worth doing that, then. Innate. ES30 still crash? It's because that wasn't in the change log either. The ES30 wasn't. The Saab 340. I guess that's going to be Sim Update 2 stuff. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so you need to... If you're on the beta, it's going to take a few hours for it to show up on that build. If you don't want to be in the beta anymore, you can leave that in the Xbox Insider Hub, and it'll push you back to the base one. That's what I did. Crap, what was I going to do? Oh. That's what we were going to do. I want to see, because something with the AG tractor, they were talking about things. It had a ton of changes, so yeah, we'll dive into it really quick. See if anything's changed in the cockpit. I'm not going to do the mission or anything like that, but want to see because they said they improved the spray as well. So we'll just kind of run through a quick few things here and there. Well, at least I can use the Corvallis again, so that's a plus. And Spotter 737 transponder fixed. Let me check through that again. That was like one of the first things we read here. Let's see. Oh, shoot. I didn't even pick the right thing. Well, no, you know what? We'll do it. Let's just see if this is fixed and we can actually use the R66. I'm trying to get to your 737 here. And you were asking transponder. Well, here, while we're doing this, I'll just read through it again really quick. Because I'm not seeing anything specific to it, but I'll read it off just to see if anything that is listed there is what you're asking. Fix CLB or climb D-rate logic to be in accordance with the FCOM. CLB1 and CLB2 D-rate modes are now revert to CLB when the D-rate fades out at a high altitude. Fixed an issue where CDU2 would be blank when spawning on the runway. Fixed takeoff speeds deleted, sometimes showing incorrectly when spawning on the runway. Fixed ident page navigation database dates. Added landing alt flag on PFD and improved landing altitude logic. I can't talk anymore. Removed landing altitude from HUD altitude tape. Now targeting a plus 0.1 PSID cabin pressure differential during takeoff. Takeoff pressurization only happens if the engines are running and bleed air is available. And removed altitude trend vector from PFD. That is the changelog for the MAX 8. You know what, FMJ? I agree. Let's do another hour of reading through that. Alright, I always forget. There we go. I need to turn on my VSync again. It's all screen tearing. Make sure everything kind of reset again after we're updated. So keep that in mind if you do update. Seems like the settings have changed. And VSync, there we go. And then I'll catch up with everybody else's chat as well. Sorry, it's just trying to get everything going here. Oh, I know. Calm down. I don't really care about the mission steps right now. I want to skip. Can we just skip everything here? Because the whole test we're doing here is to see if we can finally finish up our 66 missions. Oh, go forward a little bit. There we go. Oh, shoot. I thought... Sorry, I know the helicopter's gonna get all mad because I put too much power. Don't put me in a cutscene yet. Oh my god. How do I keep managing to always... Dang it. Unbelievable. Would help if I gave myself a better camera angle as well so I could see what in the world's going on. There we go. Oh, now we're falling through the refill truck. That's cool. So that wasn't... So it wasn't because of me. What is this? Don't be doing that now. And finally land on the stuff, and now we're phasing through the... Okay. Now the refill truck doesn't have a hitbox. Where it's supposed to. So... Great. Now it's not going to trigger the cutscene? Yep, it does not have a hitbox for some reason. Well, I never noticed that in the beta. I don't know if it's just the R66 that's doing that now or what, but... Well, that's good. Alright, hopefully that's just a one-off issue. It's like, okay, well... That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. But no, unfortunately, no marketplace. They said it's going to be coming shortly, but honestly, I'm just glad we have bug fixes, even though now I'm seeing stuff I didn't see before, like that. Let me just do a flight seeing mission or something with an R66. That way we can just skip all of it. There we go. Because apparently it's been fixed where you can finish missions with it. It doesn't say put on the parking brake or whatever it was doing before. But yeah, I'm not sure why there's no hitbox on the truck now. Very odd. And if you're just joining, the first 56 minutes of the stream was going through the entire change log of aircraft fixes to career fixes to EFB stuff. And now we're just kind of going through pretty quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on all individual things. I guess for whatever reason you can only take it off from the front. And we're just seeing if the R66 is now able to be utilized for missions. Casey, I'll have to look. Because it wasn't in the beta for the 185 in career mode, but we'll definitely check that out too. I'm hoping it's there now for the full release. Be kind of disappointed if a first party release isn't supporting career mode, but we'll see. And Tom, how long are you live for, Cal? I gotta shoot for about an hour, and I don't want to miss the whole stream. We're probably gonna be here for a little bit, honestly, because I want to kind of dive into a lot of the stuff that has apparently been fixed. So we'll be here. We'll be here, Tom. It's a small update. Yeah, definitely. No doubt about that. Yeah, you better be nervous. About to do some barrel rolls out here. Biggest bug that I'm happy is fixed is, well, unfortunately my Bonanza still doesn't have the fix, but my Corvallis does, with the person that was always walking outside the aircraft in career mode. I'm really not sure what's taking so long for the Bonanza to get that fix, but it's really nice to see a lot of that being dealt with. Um, but we'll see how everything performs. But really, anything that was related to career mode, I'm happy to see some fixes for it. And again, I don't normally skip these missions. Oh, I guess no, I can't skip this? Okay. At least I can do it with a keyboard. But yeah, I don't. Okay. God dang it. It still throws you around when you skip, though, which is why I don't do them. But for the sake of this not taking forever to get through and figure it out. Not worried about any scores or anything. Really excited to see in a little mini update that's going to be coming out after that sim update 1 is out now. It's going to be increasing the base pay for a majority of the missions, and that's really great to see. We'll have to check on pricing too, because I'm interested to see if the 737 is no longer at $90 million for a used one. So we'll check on that as well. But yeah, I'm just happy seeing a gigantic changelog for a lot of fixes. It seems like the PC-12's pressurization oxygen stuff has been fixed, so you'll be able to go above 18,000 feet in career mode with it. So we'll be checking that out as well. I just want to get these quicker ones out of the way, and then we can dive into some of these other aircraft that have received fixes. But unfortunately, no fixes for the ES-30 or the Saab 340. Did I say 340? Anyways, no, the ES-30, and then yeah, there we go. Sorry, I just talked for like an hour straight, so everything's falling apart. But test number 2 is to see if the R66 can finally finish missions, because if you tried to do them before, you know once you landed it would say set parking brake or whatever, and you would never be able to finish the mission. So another thing I want to check too is when we go into career mode again before we do another mission, I want to see if there's any new additions added to any of the mission sets, and we can check that out as well. I left the beta, but no updates just yet. Probably a couple of hours behind. Yeah, because I exited the beta once it said join on that. Then I knew I was out of it. I would check the Windows Store as well. Check updates there. There might be something sitting there as well that might help push it. Still 99. Ah, that's crazy. We were talking about that before. I think it was yesterday's stream where we didn't understand why they raised that price, but somebody brought up maybe it was because people were doing the sell fuel thing or whatever. But if that's really the reason, it's just like, who cares? It's a single player game. If people want to cheat their way to trillions of credits, good for them. That's how they want to experience. It doesn't matter. So if that's really why they did it, I hope it isn't. But it's just there's no reason for that to be that pricey for a used one. I mean, that is a lot of time you have to spend in the sim to get to that point. I mean, the soon to be price increase that's coming, or not price increase, but payout increase for career missions is going to be handy. and very much welcome. But currently not in Sim Update 1. It'll be an update soon. Hopefully not too far away, but in some hot fix or whatever they plan on doing, server side fix. And then once we're done, I just don't want to do this and then have that weird descent when you skip. I don't like that. But yep, a lot of planes had fixes, some new liveries added as well as on top of visual fixes. Their load distance, like there's a lot of planes, I'm sure you guys know this too, internally and externally, where if you zoom out just a little bit, you lose detail of the aircraft. So a lot of fixes for that as well, which is, I was really happy to see that too. Old School Mike, hello, hello. Any new planes added? Yes, the Cessna 185 Skywagon was added. We're going to check after this mission completes to see if it's included in career mode. Again, I'm hoping so. I'd be a bit disappointed if a first party plane is not being supported in career mode. But yeah, it is a bummer that the marketplace isn't here. It doesn't sound like it's too far off. It'll probably be next week or so, based off of what was said, as my voice continues to die on me. Um, by the way, here, you might be wondering the water looks like crap, and you're right, because I have it always set to low. But I'll turn it up on high. There we go. Get a little bit of detail in there rather than a flat glass. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to see fixes come out to the public build now. Like it's just it's time, and I can wait a little bit longer on the marketplace if that means we can get to the fixes first. So I mean it sucks, but at least we have Sim Update 1 finally. This is a pretty cool area here, like this little resort. Haven't really been paying. I've just been talking the whole time and paying attention to our sightseeing. But all right, yeah, we're not flying for 5 miles again. If you're just joining, the first hour of this was going through the entire change log that is offered for this. This thing still sounds awesome, but it just sucked that you weren't able to complete the missions. But now, hopefully, with Sim Update 1, that is a thing of the past, and we can actually use this thing in career mode. But no, I don't normally play like this. Again, I'm not trying to do this 100% correctly. If you've always been disappointed with the airline procedure score always giving you a low score, that's been improved and fixed as well. Which, my goodness, I'm just so happy to see some fixes for career mode because it was getting to the point where it's like, oh my goodness, we need something going on here. So this will be test number 1. One thing I was surprised by, because I thought it was listed before, but it wasn't released in this changelog, so I guess it might have been pushed back. But improvements to how it spawns search and rescue missions. I mean, we can always check that out, but my voice, it's so dead. It's cracking all over. Apologies, everybody. But I just like going through the full changelog. I mean, we skipped some planes, but we went through all the major ones that I know. Of course, this van's just got to be here. Can you move? No? Appreciate it. Now that's some taxi service right there. Get out of the helicopter right into it. All right. Let me. Somebody walks through here. All right, we got a new button because it used to be control brake. I just hold this from here. Come on, rotor. There's probably a more specific. Hey, we can finally do missions in the R66. That is fantastic. I never thought I'd see the day where I see mission success with the Robinson. Very nice. Don't care about the score because we skipped everything anyways, but cool. Love it. Very nice. Well, that's good to see. All right, next thing we're going to do is my PC-12s are still disabled on Xbox. That's really weird. Peter Cross, no. All I did was I went to the Xbox Insider Hub app. I left the beta from there, and then once it finished its circle and said join, I just relaunched the sim, and then it gave me the update. So I would try that, but did not have to uninstall the sim. All right, we'll just go through all the missions here just to see if anything looks different regarding aircraft in career. Nothing different in skydiving. I know we did cargo before, but I was doing that when I was reading the changelog, and I am running beta and have SU1 in the Steam version. Oh, you already got the full update? Because the full update is here. I'll show you the build. Here, hang on. You need to be on this one. Sim Update 1 release 1.3.23. And you'll be able to get there from the release notes in the main menu. And if you're just joining, yes, there's no marketplace yet. They're just making some final tweaks to it. But again, I'd rather have some fixes coming out than waiting on. Why is this? What is this? Oh, that's why. There's supposed to be a menu. Okay. I always think my screen's breaking or something. But all right, back to cargo here. Because if you're in the beta, it'll take a little bit longer for it to show. I mean, it might be showing up now at this point, but. All right, Draco. This is all looking the same. Yep, nothing new in cargo. Hey, Barbarossa, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, so nothing new still. I doubt there's anything new in agriculture. Well, at least we can finally use a Robinson. That's nice. I mean, my goodness. Months of it just sitting there not being able to be used. Well, so far, I mean, I'm not going to look at that. VIP. Can buy my Corvallis again. We don't have people hanging outside. Beechcraft Baron. I think the Baron might be back again. I could be. I think it, no, maybe it was always there. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Skywagon is going to be used for anything unless it's sitting in sightseeing stuff. But you think it'd be able to be used for like light cargo too? Yeah, that's there should be at least a, if you're putting a first party plane out, it should support career if it's there, but unfortunately no 185 Skywagon in career. Looks like it's just a free flight plane only, which is disappointing. So it looks like the aircraft list is pretty much the same as it was before. Which is also disappointing. I was kind of hoping for other planes that are just in the sim already to kind of get some support on that, but all right. Yeah, because the C-17, I mean, it should be available for what's already here. It'll probably be available for heavy cargo, but of course we don't have that. And then, of course, we're going to have remote cargo operation missions down the road, too. But yeah, kind of disappointed that the 185 isn't available for anything, so. That is a disappointment. Okay, so Another thing I want to see too is if the air tractors received any changes. We're not going to do the mission. I just want to see because it was mentioning stuff in the changelog regarding it. So we'll see if the cockpit has anything different in there. But yep, there were fixes to the 747, the 787, the Airbus A321, the A310, the A330, all that kind of stuff too. So is there anything different in the cockpit? Oh, okay. Well, we've moved the tablet. I like that already. Because it was here for whatever. Wasn't it here? Because I don't think it was always in the front. Which is nice. Whoa. What did I... What did I just hit? Did I go into showcase? Oh, I did. What did I don't know what I hit, but okay. Let me just see if anything else pops up that's different. And I think after this, we'll pop into the PC-12 just to see if the pressurization stuff has been fixed. Oh, there it is. Just want to see what it looks like here. Oh, you know what? We will take off, actually. I don't know if it was this or something else, but they said that the spray was... Uh-oh. Did my settings reset? Because that button's not doing anything. Oh! No wonder it's not doing it. It's not plugged in. That explains that. There we go. Good thing you're experienced because today's job is interesting. Tyler Hughes, a local farmer, hired us to spray much-needed AG inputs over his fields. Fortunately, you're the right person for the job. Don't know if you worked in this area before, but Hughes's crops are located 13 nautical miles away. Again, not doing the mission, just want to see what's going on here. Yep, don't care. We're testing things out, thanks. I guess just some subtle changes, but nothing too crazy. Still love how it curves over. Alright, anyways, just wanted to see what they were talking about there. How does the optimization feel? I mean, for me, I never really had many performance issues. Honestly, I mean, you can go through all my different videos and streams, but performance was never really a major thing for me. I mean, I had some stutters here and there at some certain airports, um, but I just had all the other bugs going on pretty much. By the way, this isn't career related, but I want to check it out because I haven't seen it yet. And then we'll dive into the PC-12 and see if we finally have some fixes there. But the A10 has had a completely new flight model added, as well as something else that I think you guys will enjoy. But anyways, before we do that, this is the new plane that was added. Unfortunately, not available for career mode for some reason. I just don't understand why a first-party plane isn't immediately supporting it, but that is the new aircraft that is available for everybody for free. It is in your sim when you load it on up. But hopefully in future, just let's have first party aircraft immediately support career mode. Because, I mean, even if it was just for like flight seeing or something, it would just be nice to have it. Oh, they didn't add anything under the wings? Just the. There it is. It's no longer a weird sensor or whatever it was. Got the lovely gun on there. Very cool. But could have at least added like a fuel tank or something under here. Why did we leave that empty? This was another aircraft that had LOD fixes. You know, this isn't flickering anymore, and a lot of planes had LOD improvements, so a lot of things shouldn't disappear when you zoom out just a little bit. We'll just boot this thing up really quick and take a quick flight. Your flight's loading quick. Yeah, I've seen people say like, "Oh, it takes 15 minutes." Or I've again, it wasn't something. The only time I experienced it once, and it was at LAX. But everything else loads in pretty much within under 20 seconds or so. Okay, I don't feel like sitting here the whole time. Let's go. Because yeah, this received a new flight model. I'm gonna shut you guys off for now. I don't need all this extra noise. We don't need to hear you. And I believe there were some changes to the cockpit as well. Don't ask me. I don't know much about fighter jets. I like flying them, but I don't know what's going on in it. So very cool. But hey, it's nice seeing some weapons on it. Not sure why there's nothing under the wings though. So still some improvements to be made there for sure. All right. Let's test out that PC-12 here. Well, I mean, the thing that I'm talking about is if you zoom out, like lights would disappear and stuff on the outside of the aircraft model would just disappear and so forth. And we had that an absolute ton on quite a few of the aircraft. All right, let's see here. There's a PC-12. Oh, there was it. There it is. Again, not doing the full flight. We'll just do all the initial stuff, and then I want to climb and then just see how it does, because you should be able to climb above 18,000 feet without worrying about oxygen loss or anything like that anymore with the PC-12. And we'll test that theory out right now. Chaz, have they mentioned anything about autopilot trim being fixed when increased sims? I didn't see anything mentioned about sim rate, I don't believe. All right. I still don't know why it's so dirty. Like, why? All these fingerprint smudges. Sorry, I had the thing there. Should goodness gracious. Should also not run into any ATC issues when you're going to airports that don't have a tower. It should automatically skip that step now, or at least make it to where you're not trying to talk to a tower, as opposed to just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be heading on out." Did the update come with Windex? Apparently not, because I don't know. Some of the developers love to put like make it like your plane is just filthy, and I hate that. Or when I buy a brand new plane in career mode and it has scratches on everything, it's like, what is this? Why is it all scratched up? But see, now it knows what it's doing, which is great to see, because you could get stuck there and take a penalty for not talking to ATC. This is a very short runway. What kind of crap is this? That's something they still need to fix. Because I'm pretty sure it ends right up here. And it does. Very good. Because that is another thing that's just needing some work, is the airports it picks for certain airplanes do not make any sense. Like that one. I love this like almost dust storm going on around here. I don't know what's happening, but it looks cool. All right, so again, I'm not going to do this mission fully. Just testing out to see if pressurization issues are eliminated. I, for whatever reason, cannot interact with... Oh, it's because I wasn't... Am I in like a different mode here? What's happening? What is this cursor? Okay. Do I have like a random window up that it's trying to get to, or... I can just interact with scrolls. Oh! Hey, there we go. I don't know what that... Okay. Anyways, whatever that was. Oh, now it's gone again. Is there... It's because I'm in this camera angle? I guess it's kind of glitchy at that camera angle. Anyways. And... Where the heck is autopilot? Why am I missing it? There it is. Goodness. Oh. Complained about something. So I'm assuming there's a button I need to push for oxygen? Because it wasn't that the issue is you couldn't interact with it or something like that? I know nothing about this planet because I've just avoided it because of that. Oh, that's why? It was the stupid... Oh no, there's no visor. Is it? Oh, is that what? Why is it such a big hit? What in the world? I can barely see it at the regular camera angle. What in the... Where is this thing at? There it is. Oh, that's why it swings out. I was like, what is that going to do from the side? I see. They need to change that hit detection there, because I don't know why that's such a... Just... Oh God, get out of my way. Unbelievable. Alright, co-pilot side. Like on the door, or... Bleed air, fans. By the co-pilot's left knee. Oh, nice. Thank you. Sure there's a graph somewhere that shows it. Oh, I mean, we'll find out once we're at a high altitude. Oh, I didn't turn on heading mode. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're not finishing the mission, so let's see. You excited to find out if we actually have oxygen? I know I am. Cargo variant of the PC-12 still doesn't put any cargo in it. Now flip bleed air switch next to the lever you just pulled. Bleed air. It's set to auto. Should I leave it on auto? I'm assuming it'll know what it's doing. Halloween, well, so far I'm pretty happy with it. It's nice that it's finally out. We did a test with the R-66 Robinson helicopter. You can finally complete missions with that. And now we're just seeing if the PC-12's pressurization has been fixed as it says it has. Squeeze on through here. What's your altitude? Right now we're at 15,000 and climbing. Your delta P is changing. Ah, yes. The delta. I mean, good. I'm glad that's changed, because I mean, that's something that people have been bringing up since the sim came out. So now you can actually go to the altitude that's set without having to worry about that going on. Well, I haven't touched the sim since Monday, so I mean, they might have made a change in a different beta build, but I never messed with it. But no, the marketplace is not up. It is going to be coming shortly after this release. They just wanted to get the Sim Update 1 out. It doesn't sound like Sim Update or the marketplace is too far behind this. I would imagine next week. But right now, no marketplace. Just Sim Update 1. Lost Trucker? I never had any issues with pressurization in the 24. Unless it just wasn't simulated and I wasn't losing any points off of it. But yeah, I flew it a lot and never had any issues with that specifically. I know this one had the issue with the PC-12. I could be wrong though, but I just never paid much attention to it. Hello, Eric? Bottom right box, lower MFD. Oh, this one. Oh, I see. Our cabin pressure is 4,960. I got it. Okay. And then there's the PSI. Nice. Is it a mandatory update? Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. You will have to install it when you open up the sim. But yeah, I mean, if you're meaning the PC-12, then yes, it has been fixed. But the PC-24, I never had any issues with anything oxygen or pressurization-wise. Cabin altitude is lowered or lower than the aircraft altitude in PC-24 display, only flashed red. Because yeah, I don't think anything PC-24 was in this changelog today. It was only the PC-12. And unfortunately, no new aircraft in career mode. I was hoping to see some other ones that we've had in the sim already get added, but nothing as of yet. I mean, on one hand, I understand they were focused on the plethora of bugs that needed to be fixed. So, but still, it would be nice to get like my Cessna Longitude and all that going on, or at least the Cessna 185F that just came out with this update, but you can't use it in career mode. But all right, everybody, I think we tested this all out and we're good to go. And I mean, I can see if it's because the ES30 didn't receive any fixes, so it's still going to be the same workaround. I can show it. I'll see if it works still or not, because maybe something might have changed with it. But cool, I think we're good. Still had hypoxia issues at 24,000. Oh, no, okay. We'll keep climbing then. We're going up to 29,000, so we can see if anything pops up. And old school Mike, regarding missions and VIP stuff, it is going. Let me find it again. It is going to be changed following the release of Sim Update 1. So it's not here just yet. It'll probably be like a server side fix or a hot fix, a smaller one. That'll be changing it because there's going to be some more career stuff coming, like increased payouts for a majority of the missions, which is great. Search and rescue, skydiving, cargo, transport with construction and hook, aerial firefighting, aerial agriculture, aerial advertising are all getting payout increases, which is nice. Hopefully make those more worth it. I'm surprised, just kind of thought about that. Another mission set that needs a payout increase is the medical one. Medical transfer. Because that is way too low for the amount of time you're flying in there. Oh, and I don't know why, but anyways, mission distribution on the world map has been improved, including VIP charter missions and night missions. And then it says these career mode changes will arrive later following the release of Sim Update 1. So not here just yet, but it is on the way, which is great to see. So it looks like the map looks better too. It doesn't look all fuzzy and blurry and everything, so that's nice. But see, nothing disappears on the body of the aircraft anymore. It'll be interesting to test it out with everything, because some of them were worse than others. The cockpit doesn't go into a different mode. It holds what it's supposed to, which is nice. The Vision Jet has seen fixes as well, for those that are all about that aircraft. But yeah, we're almost to 29,000 feet, everybody, and we're not having any pressurization issues or seemingly oxygen issues, which is nice. I'm finding that I can't open the EFB in the initial mission page. Are you seeing the same issue? We can check that out. I got tons of VIP in the EU, just none where I want to fly. Yeah, it'll be nice having that be way more common for sure. And then get more use out of the King Air and the citation and all that. But cool. Can finally use the PC-12 as it is intended. That's great. So that's another thing that is fixed, which is awesome. And yep, same here. I'll actually buy the PC-12 finally, which is great. Because that's why I didn't buy it. It's just like, oh, what's the point? Always having to stay below 18,000 feet, and then that's it. So, cool. Let's see here. What about ship traffic? Is there... Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and figure that out. We'll go check it out. Let's head on over to Free Flight. And I'm going to do it in the Dreamlifter. Because that was one that had like floating lights and everything. The 787 was fixed. There had some fixes too. But yeah, let's load in this behemoth here. Because again, hardly flew it because of issues that it had. So wasn't going to deal with that. Who's this? Guns 8771. Let's go there. Why is everything a fuel box? Do they not have any like big areas? Oh, just spawn on the runway. And are you on the full release build of Sim Update 1, Soda? Because I mean, we were sitting at 29,000 feet. I mean, we can test it some more later, but oh, it's gonna be on the runway. We're fine. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Why is the nose? Oh, no, they still got to work on load distance stuff. Did they at least fix the lights that were floating? No, they're still floating. This is why I haven't done. And the livery still sucks. It's all glitched out, unless you're like right next to. Oh, so now it doesn't. Yeah, see. Nope. Oh, all right. That still sucks. Working title. You still got some more work to do. Your Dreamlifter is still horrendous. So that means the 747 from them is probably the same because both of them were always just. I don't know. But that's a shame to see that they're still having the same issues I've seen since day one. Oh, so it still happens after. Oh, that sucks then. So obviously that still isn't fixed. Because I didn't want to go for too much longer on that. So okay, I guess it isn't fixed then. Just takes a while longer, I guess. Nope. See, still lights hang. Like, why? Like, what are you guys like? I don't know. Out of all the developers that did stuff for the sim, working titles aircraft are my least favorite. I mean, I don't know how there's still floating lights on this model. Looks like the livery isn't a mess, so there's that at least. But same draw distance thing with the nose gear if you're not close enough to it. But see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the LOD stuff I mean with the planes. If you zoom out too far, some of them have just nonsense going on, which shouldn't be the thing anyways. So, yeah. Continuing to avoid working title aircraft. I mean, at least get the floating lights situated. Like, what is this? I don't get it. But anyways, gonna check the live boats. Just wanted to see what was going on with that. Unfortunately, still nothing fixed on those two. Annoyingly. We'll check out the ocean in the Skywagon, since we can only use it in free flight, unfortunately. Just failed mission. Oh, we're gonna try it again. If I knew that, I would have stayed in it a bit longer. Yeah, I still don't follow the elevation, right? Holy crap! How many people are leaving this airport here? All right, I think. Oh no, there we go. By the way, in case you don't know, this comes with Sim Update 1, the Cessna 185 Skywagon. But yeah, if we can get some more people on that, I'd appreciate it. I just don't want the whole stream to just be that, and I don't want to do sim rate and then cause things to go weird with it, you know? Lights are still pretty blah in the daytime. And somebody was asking if it had auto. I don't think this plane has any variations of like super fitted autopilot or anything like that. Because I think each variation is just, skis, tundra, or regular, and of course amphibious. But really a shame that a first party aircraft isn't supporting career right off the bat. Because I thought it was just a beta thing, and then once it fully comes out, we'll be able to use it. But unfortunately, no. All right, we're gonna go over to the water and see if we have any live boat traffic going on. Flaps on up. Bob, the Vision Jet, and can somebody help me? How did you install that in the update? If you're in the beta program, it'll be a bit delayed for you. I mean, we're probably close to it releasing there, but if you're not, okay. Before I say, if you're in the beta and you want the update now, you just go to the Xbox Insider Hub, get out of the beta program. You don't have to reinstall. At least I didn't have to reinstall the sim, and I just relaunched it and it got there. But if you're on just the regular version of the sim, it should just be there ready to go for you. If not, just restart the Windows Store or your PC or Xbox, wherever you are, and the update should be there. And as for the Vision Jet, let me scroll back on up here. Let me find it real quick. Oh, where is it? Where be the Vision Jet? Oh, there it is. Alright, so the Vision Jet added additional non-English localization, fixed engine sounds during engine start, fixed an issue where the airplane was using the incorrect fuel type, windshield IPS now correctly cycles between pump 1 and pump 2, the aircraft status synoptic now displays the correct amount of windshield IPS fluid in text, the ice protection synoptic now displays the correct windshield IPS state, fixed airspeed indicator color bands, added EFB takeoff and landing performance data. The selected altitude is now rounded to the nearest 10 foot when using altitude sync. Autopilot is no longer inhibited while on the ground or below 400 feet. Fixed the tooltip description for baggage door. Fixed an issue where the interaction for speed increase decrease wheel was inverted. Adjusted the maximum allowed airspeed references set by FMS based on aircraft configuration. The instrument lighting knob now changes the backlight intensity of the G3000 screens and GTC buttons and knobs. Adjusted the positions of the pilot and quick view cameras. The auto throttle disconnect button on the left side of the throttle lever handle now has the correct function instead of being used as the toga button. Toga button interaction was moved to a click spot to the left of the throttle lever near the forward end of the handle. You may also interact with the toga button through a secondary interaction on the throttle lever. So there's that. Did it fix the incredibly long time? I'm assuming load time. Again, that's something I never experienced. Load times, both getting into the sim and loading a plane, were never an issue for me. We'll check somewhere else. I wasn't seeing any boats there, so let me just do a test. We'll go for a big aircraft at LAX. Let's just see what happens with the loads. Let's pop in the 787. Oh, not 787-8. There we go. And no, the marketplace is not out. It will be out shortly, they said. I would imagine next week. I'm just happy we have bug fixes coming out, because I can wait a little bit longer on the marketplace if it means we finally get Sim Update 1, so not too big of a deal. Alright, let's see how long it takes to load a 787 into the Dreamliner, or into the LAX. Hey there, have they fixed the exposure issues finally where the cockpit lights up like crazy? A lot of planes have had fixes regarding brightness and so forth, as well as the instrument systems themselves. So it should be a lot better, Harry. You're in the beta and it's available to download. I'm downloading it now. Very nice. Very nice. Mission failed due to hypoxia. Oh, that sucks then. I was excited because I thought it was good to go since we cleared that 18,000, but I guess it's just a short distance on that. Because LAX was the only airport I did have that issue once. And then I never went back there again, anyways, because I was like, I don't need to fly around California, so it's like, whatever. How's the max missions behaving now? If you've always had that really low score regarding airliner procedures, that's been fixed too. So even if you did everything right, you had that low score and it tanked it, that's been fixed, if that's what you're talking about. Slowly loading in all the 3D buildings. I mean, especially if you're on Xbox and something like that and you're doing an airliner plus a big tin airport, it's going to be something. I mean, it's already something on a PC here. But I mean, if you load in a 787 to something that isn't LAX, you'll be in really quick. But I mean, it just has all the photogrammetry to load in, then the airport, then the plane. I mean, there's just a lot that the sim has to bring into it. So you can expect some heftier load times in busier places where there's a lot more stuff the sim has to bring in, and our frame rate will be tanking until things kind of fix it. Oh, got terrible livery on this too with the load distance. Oh, and then somebody was asking about the EFB in the mission too. We'll check that out too. I didn't forget you. But yeah, that's the LOD stuff I was talking about. But thankfully, a lot of planes improved that. But obviously, there's still some work to do regarding load distance. But anyways, that was loading into LAX. I want to test it out at another airport that's kind of in LA, but not here specifically, just to see if there's a difference in times loading in, which I'm sure there will, because again, I mean, it has so much to load there. Let's just do. Let's try here, Bob Hope. I'm not too worried about where we're spawning. I just want to test it out. And yeah, Arthur, we're that's what we're kind of getting to. I'm sorry, I just want to showcase load times and so forth. Well, we're gonna see if there's some sea traffic. And should almost be ready. Looks like all the buildings are already in here. Oh, there's our plane. But see, it's just, it all depends on what airport you're picking. But if you're going for a really high density area, you can expect some pretty hefty load times. So just keep that in mind. Give it a few more seconds here to load everything in, right? But you can see the difference in times of getting the plane in there. But anyways, we're going to spawn over the ocean in LA. We should easily see a bunch of boats and ships there. So, there we go. Fly around here, see if we got any ships. Just give me something. Just do the 172. I don't care. We're not going to be here too long. Carl, if you're in the beta, you want to get out of the beta. I already see some ship names, but I don't know if they're moving or anything. But yeah, so I mean, if you're in the beta, you should start seeing that update already, anyways. So just keep that in mind. Is GAIST working in 2024 now. Let me do a quick search on that post here and see if I can give you a definitive answer. Oops. GAIST. There's nothing regarding that acronym in the changelog, so I'm going to assume no. I'm not official. I don't know what that is specifically. Did they fix the random wrong landing designation? They've made some improvements to just career stuff in general. I mean, I don't know if that was a free flight issue as well. So we have ships, but I'm not sure if they're actually moving or if they're just kind of hanging out. That's a pretty cool one over here. It's ship traffic mod. I don't know what. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, yeah, then yeah, I definitely don't know. I don't know anything about those third party things. So, I mean, their ships. Have no idea if they're where they are in real life at the moment. But there we go. Well, if you're not in the beta, you don't need the Xbox Insider up. The update should just be ready for you when you relaunch the sim. You will be good to go. All right. So, anyways, let's go back to career because I want to answer the question about the EFB in like the mission overview tab. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, that was all online traffic. So let's pick a random mission. And then here, you weren't able to open the EFB? Because I can open it here. But I'll go into the next part. Is there a next part? Oh, I don't think there is. I think it just goes into the mission. Oh, no, there it is. Unless you were talking about here? No, EFB opens here as well. All right, let's see here. Well, here, you know what? Let's test out the Corvallis, because if you had more than 3 passengers, you would have somebody walking outside of it. Are there no VIP flights just as an employee? Oh, forget it. I'll just buy the goddamn thing. Let me just buy it. Now that I can use it without having to worry about, hopefully, people hanging outside the aircraft, so. Good job, me. Hit the wrong button. I haven't flown this thing in forever. My goodness, it's been months. I guess just around California. Should have some basic ones around. Uh, of course, they're all the way on the other side of the country. Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't there be a single one over here in the east or western part of the country? Fantastic. Yep, that's the closest one. Very good. Let me spend another 200,000 to move the plane over. Oh, it's only not. Oh, it's only 9,000 because I have other planes around. Still only 11,000. Not bad. You shouldn't crash anymore when you're moving vehicles around. That was in the change log. Quite a few of the crashes that were happening, the midnight error code should be gone now as well. So now we should have 3 people in this aircraft, and none of them are walking outside the plane. And by the way, I have voices turned off right now, so just in case you're wondering why you don't hear anything. Doors still don't have any body panels in the cutscene. Uh-oh, I'm not liking that. Nope, they didn't fix it. It still broke, even though they said it. Let me look. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Because we were a bit confused because there was stuff listed, but we didn't know if it was fixed or not. Let's see. Props blah, 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 before takeoff. Missing and passengers can be seen walking next to the aircraft while completing the VIP private charter. And that was in the change list. So put it back in the change list because it's still here. I'm never gonna fly my Corvallis or Bonanza at this point. It's never fixed. Well, I spent $400,000 to get the plane just to see the same glitch that I thought was going to be gone. That's unfortunate. Um, Missions are going to be changing regarding the CJ4 and so forth. Right now, they're still going to be pretty rare. Um, but there's going to be a hot fix or another smaller update that comes out that's going to improve mission variety and how often they spawn and so forth. That'll be coming here shortly. But right now, it'll still be the same like it has been, where you can get like a mission here and there, but then that's it. I am so sad. Like, I was excited. I was like, oh, I can finally use my Corvallis again. And then it's like, no, they're still going to walk on the outside of the aircraft. So still no Bonanza or that. Oh, forgot about this. People were asking about the ES30. We can see if, because I still own it, I think. I don't think I sold it. Is this my ES30? It is. Let's see if my cabin or my cargo door fix, workaround, whatever. Wait, why is the minimum transfer cost 73,000? Oh, it's a cargo mission. It wasn't a. I just saw my plane icon there. There we go. We checked the Bonanza, same thing. Pilot head through the roof and all that. Unfortunately, that's what I was meaning by I'll never fly my Bonanza or the, the Corvallis again. And thank you, Gonzo. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Hopefully, I'm answering most of your questions and so forth. I'm trying to showcase most of the majority of things that I know were issues prior. But yeah, we'll see. I noticed ever since I did the airliner, my sim's been performing. That's why I don't do much airliners. They're just they need some work. But all right, for whatever reason, I've had a lot of luck when I open and close this door again. The ES30 doesn't do its weird full throttle reverse nonsense, but we'll see if that's changed or anything with this build. Gotta wait for that cutscene to get going here. Got the update, so awesome to see runway dimensions and feet and those glorious commas. No doubt about it. Oh, nope. So now it's back to doing that again. That answers that. Was this an Asobo aircraft? It was. Come on, Asobo, let's get this. I mean, it didn't break, so that's nice. There it is. I mean, let's get that fixed, please. Oh my goodness. It's such a cool plane, but. Well. Unfortunately, there's your answer to the ES30. And apparently, my baggage door fix doesn't do it anymore either. Because for whatever reason, I had a nice run where I did 20 flights with it and never had an issue with it when I did that baggage door. And now, apparently, this latest update got rid of my little workaround. So there's that, unfortunately. Hey Tom, welcome back. We were just doing some more tests. The Corvallis unfortunately still has people outside the plane. My Bonanza still has people outside the plane. The ES30 is, of course, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything from that anyways, since it wasn't in the change log, but. And no, unfortunately, Angel, the PC-12 is not fixed. People are running into the same hypoxia issues and so forth. Even though it was listed as being fixed, it still needs some more work, which is a bit of a shame. My update was only 400 meg. Oh, that doesn't make it, because this was 8.7 gigabytes. And awesome, Martin. I'm glad it's looking better for you on the Xbox. That's great to hear. So let's see. Do we have a short 737 flight? Because I'd like to do that. Hmm. No, not doing that. Oh, perfect. Oh, this is great. Yes. Something short. Love it. No, I mean, I understand the frustration for sure. I mean, there's just stuff that should be. That's why I think what should have ended up happening instead of Sim Update 1, we should have done some hot fixes for like the community's top requested things to get fixed. Because I've said this before, I would have rather seen an update every time I launched the sim just to get things fixed a bit quicker as opposed to waiting for one big thing and still have major issues just for the fact that they weren't being worked on because they were focusing, stuff. I mean, but for the most part, it seems like, I mean, the PC-12 is still broken even though they said it was fixed. And my Corvallis, the Bonanza. So I mean, there's been some improvements, but it still seems like career mode is still a bit of a. Oh shoot! You know what I should have done? I should have restarted this because ever since I loaded into LA, it's like really just. I don't know what it's done, but we'll try it. We'll wait. Oh, we didn't have to take the. Why did it take everything off the plane already? It had all the engine covers and stuff. But yeah, if it keeps lagging like this, we'll just. This glitch is getting annoying too. See this? I don't. Do you see this line on the stream, or is it just me? No, I see it in the loading screen. For whatever reason, it's where like menus are supposed to be, and it just leaves these black lines everywhere that they're supposed to be like a an item. But we're gonna do this full flight since it's a short one, just to see the airline procedure points that has supposedly been fixed. So we should be seeing better scores out of passenger transport stuff. And yes, Kyle, passenger or passive income is another one of those things that is coming in a hot fix, little mini update after this has been released here. Let me find it again. Career mode, yes. Fixed an issue where the passive income window is not shown when certain conditions were met, meaning that players could not retrieve their passive income. Passive income is now generated when flying employee missions. And yeah, both of those are listed as these career mode changes will arrive later following the release of Sim Update 1. So just keep. I was kind of hoping we could skip this crap. We're going to skip it. Well, is that going to tank our score, though? Because sometimes this takes a while to board people. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool having a autonomous stair lift come to the plane. Uh-oh. I need to really restart the sim. I think loading into LAX with the Dream Lifter and all that was not ideal. Scale on EFB is now wrong. 0.25 a mile? Zoom level should be 1,000 nautical miles, and it's showing 50 nautical miles for me, but the date is now correct. Yeah, the date stuff was fixed. But yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing on the scale. Here, let me check over here where it kind of looks familiar. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, well, we're not waiting for you guys to board. I'm just going to go. This is going to take too long. I might restart anyways, because after that LAX load... Oh, that was a bit worrying. Catering truck is in our wing. Oh, gotcha. Okay. When I skip the boarding, it fails the game. Oh, well, I guess we're about to find out if it's still doing that. I think they can just speed that up. I like that they wanted to be a bit realistic, but I don't need that. It's like let's go. That's why I always love when you get a mission where it spawns you away. Enter key still doesn't work to talk to ATC, and ATC is still. Oh, are we actually talking? Hang on, I'll turn voices back on so I know what's happening. But it looks like that same like ATC just disappearing with menu options is still a thing, unfortunately. But okay, no, we're good. Perfect. And now can I hit enter? Nope, enter still doesn't work. So you have to open the communication tab. It doesn't spawn in the trim weird anymore, which is nice, because I know that was always a thing. No, still can't hit enter. And the landing channel, no, the marketplace is not out. It will be out shortly, though, which hopefully means just next week or something like that. But yeah, that LAX spawn has really messed things up. That's what I get for trying to fly in California. Where are we going, by the way? Okay. So make sure I'm going the right way still. Because, yeah, it almost seems like it has a lingering effect. Because our frame rate was perfect before we went to LAX. And we'll try to do this as perfect as possible because, again, we're trying to test out the airline procedure score being fixed. So we may as well try to do this as perfect as possible. And Johnny, I'm hoping next week, since they said coming soon regarding the marketplace, so I'm hoping we're not too far away from that approaching. And not today, no. Unfortunately, Cub fan, I've been told otherwise regarding the PC-12. We tested it out, but I guess if you stay a little bit longer, you still get the hypoxia thing going on. Is the stream slow? Oh, I hope the stream isn't. Oh, no, that's definitely not what it looks like on my end. Hang on. That's OBS. We're going to restart this really quick. OBS is throwing a fit. Thank you for bringing that up. Let me... Because, yeah, that's not what the... I have a bit of frames going down, but it's not like that where it's a slideshow. Hang on. I'm going to just restart the sim here. But thank you for bringing that up. All right, let's try that again. Because, yeah, I got a warning saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. I'll say. So, again, thank you for bringing that up. Because I wasn't really looking at that. But that is not what it was looking like for me. Sure, the frames weren't 60 frames per second or whatever it normally is, but it definitely wasn't a slideshow. That was OBS just exploding on us. Hopefully it's better now. Should be. All right, let me see what this looks like. Because, yeah, after we went into LA, it just kind of freaked everything out. Johnny, the marketplace is not coming out today. For the third time after asking that. My goodness. I'm gonna we're here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do our own PC-12 mission again and just see. Because I don't know if people are in different versions still and they think they're in the release build or what's happening. So we're gonna just test it out and definitively see. We'll just do a full mission no matter what the length is. I'm hoping I can find a short one and just see what's going on. Let's find out together, shall we? Because now I wish I didn't end the mission so early, and then because I thought I thought we were good to go after we tested it, but apparently not. I'm getting conflicting messages. Oh, I mean, it doesn't. We don't have to do the full mission. We can just sit there for a bit and see what happens. See if anything pops up for us. Because I'm not doing this full flight right now. and we will all find out together what's actually happening. There we go, our frames are back. Much nicer. Alright, and get rid of the cover. Still a pain on an Xbox controller for some reason. Hey! Great. I'll leave that off for now.
The sensitive cargo containers have high tolerance with turbulence, but make sure you keep the delivery smooth and on time.
November Victor 6-5, traffic CDWN 32 Sierra, Alpha Foxtrot 2 is taxiing to runway 20.
Alright. Hey, lights actually look pretty decent on this. I can actually see it flashing in the daytime, as opposed to some of the other aircraft. Oh. Did it give us an actual runway for this aircraft? Because the first time we did this, it gave us like a 2-inch runway. Yeah, we're good now. Oh. Too busy looking at chat. Why do load times seem like they haven't been improved? I mean, honestly, again, the only time I ever have a load issue, or not an issue, just a longer load time, is if I'm in like in an airliner spawning at LAX like we did in the stream. Everywhere else, it spawns in within 10 seconds or so. And even loading into the sim doesn't take too long either. Because I've seen people saying it takes 10 to 15 minutes and so forth. I'm not sure if that's based off of internet connections or what the deal is, but yeah, it's never been a major issue here. So anyways, let's go.
Los Angeles Center CDWN 32 Sierra, Alpha Foxtrot 2 is
All right. Oh.
PC, 12 miles.
All right. So we'll turn on our oxygen, leave the engine bleed air to auto, and we'll just see what's going on. We're going to 30,000 feet, and we'll just sit there and see if anything happens.
CDWN 32 Sierra, Alpha Foxtrot, radar contact 3 miles southwest of November Victor 6-5, 4,700 feet, altimeter 29er, 6 tree.
And we will have a definitive answer, because we'll just sit there and watch. Turn off our landing lights here. over to the rope.
Los Angeles Center CTW 32 Sierra, Alpha Foxtrot, 2 tree miles.
And climbing we go.
7,400 foot request IFAR to 0 tree, Oscar Romeo, ready to copy. CDW 32 Sierra, Alpha Foxtrot 2 is cleared to 0 tree, Oscar Romeo Airport is filed. Squawk 0042.
And very nice, Tom. Hey, Nate. Welcome, welcome. And John, I'll have to test the 737 again. I did, but I didn't want to respond to you. But yeah, I'll have to test the 737 again because loading into LA earlier in the stream just kind of tanked my frame rates for whatever reason. So we'll test it out again. Right now, we're just testing out the oxygen system and so forth. And just see if we run into it. Because I'm getting conflicting reports as to what's happening with it, so we'll just figure it out ourselves. The ground looks much nicer, though. I think. It doesn't all look soupy and just blurry and crap, which is nice. The ATR is so buggy after this update? That's pretty weird. Yeah, well, I don't know why that's in a change log, though. They changed it to make it to where they added it. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Because if it was still broken, then why would it be listed? Because it's not what a change log is. It's a. But I mean, we'll figure it out. We will see. We shall see. And Greg, yes, Sim Update 1 is out officially. Not a beta or build or anything. It's full on Sim Update 1 for everybody. And right now we're just testing out the PC-12 because some people say it works for them and other people say it's still Hypoxia Central, and I just don't know anymore. Just gave me a warning, but it went away right away. Because, yeah, we were seeing that it showed, like, the oxygen lever actually does do something now, but... Oh, that's interesting. The last time we did this, this was blank. It was just dashes. I didn't see pink, like, I didn't see any of this before at the top. This was blank the last time we did it. So I wonder if that has something to do with that. But, again, that's what we're here to check out. We are here to see what's going on. Clouds are looking beautiful today. And Greg, no, if you're on the beta, it should be there already for you too. There was a bit of a delay, they said, about 2 hours or so, but it should be there for you as well. You do not have to bail out of the beta if you don't want to. So I'm wondering if Sim Update 2 beta is going to be starting up shortly. And landing channel. This is what it says regarding the... Oh crap, where did it go now? regarding the marketplace. Let me give you the definitive answer on that. Somehow I went to the beta build of the form. There we go. There we go. Regarding the marketplace, many of you are eagerly anticipating the inclusion of the marketplace. We are excited to share that the marketplace is coming shortly. So, I'd guess Monday or Tuesday next week. Because it sounds like they're just making some final tweaks to it. I mean, that's what they said. As we are making final tweaks to ensure it meets everyone's expectations. So it doesn't sound too far off from the release of this. Sounds like they're just trying to make some extra little tweaks here. And I'd imagine early next week, if I'd have to just guess as a time frame for the marketplace. Engine volume. Is something wrong with it? And what do you mean, Gonzo? Bailed too soon on what? Well, even if you had to restart the sim or reinstall the sim, you're not going to lose your progress even with that because that's all saved in the cloud. So anytime you do need to reinstall your sim for any reason, you're not going to be losing your career or anything like that. That's all that's all saved in the cloud and not in the sim itself. I'm assuming we don't hear it much because it's probably simulating that we have headphones on, like Bose headphones or whatever. If I'd have to take a guess. Because I mean, it's quiet for me too, but I'm just assuming it's simulating headphones are on. Plus, I do have my fantastic fighter pilot helmet going on, so. Alright, so we are at 26,000 feet, climbing to 30,000 still, and we'll just kind of sit here. We'll see if any warnings pop up or anything like that. It broke after 45 minutes of flying. So yeah, it's just not really sure why it's so random. Like some people see it relatively soon after they get to a high altitude. Other people see like I don't know. It's weird. Is the Saab fixed? Unfortunately, no fixes for the ES30, the Saab. Um, if you want to fly the Corvallis or Bonanza without people hanging outside of it, unfortunately, that still isn't fixed. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of as to why it's so low in the cabin is just because we're wearing like Bose headphones or something like that. I don't know if that's what it is or if it's just really low just because it's low. It's just it's hard to tell. Because I know there's some airplanes where you can toggle the headphones on or off. This one isn't one of them, so. A nice quack. I mean, the Vision Jet's a great one. Had some fixes as well in Sim Update 1. And Karate Kid, sorry, what is the best plane in your guys' opinion for VIP missions? Um, crap, what do I do? I mean, honestly, I haven't really done too much VIP stuff just because, I mean, I did the Corvallis. I love that plane, but I hate the fact that you have people hanging outside of the aircraft when it's. If you have one or two passengers with the Corvallis, you're good. Oh my goodness, why are we still going up in speed? I have this almost idle. There we go. Goodness gracious. Auto throttle on here. But I mean, the Corvallis is great. I love flying the Bonanza, but I just hate having the people hanging outside of it. I was hoping that was going to be fixed this time around, but unfortunately, it is not. Dropped my cabin elevation. So yeah, we'll keep an eye, because again, this is the thing I didn't see have anything on it. This was just orange dashes, and it didn't have any numbers here. So we'll see if that moves or anything like that. And we'll just see. And the Corvallis, it's a $400,000 aircraft. But unfortunately, most missions have three people, which then that's when you have the person that's just walking alongside the plane while you're in the air, and it's just a very annoying bug. It was funny in the beginning, but now it's just gotten to the point where I'm annoyed with it. It's just like, okay, what's the best way to learn all the buttons on the panels? I mean, honestly, just starting with like a Cessna 172 and just kind of familiarizing yourself with the basics of autopilot and setting things up regarding destinations, and then you can kind of work your way from it. I mean, that's what I kind of do. I just pick a plane and then I just go with it a lot. I don't really do anything else with like auto land stuff or ILS or anything. I have the basics of autopilot with getting heading, navigation set up. I never like having the plane do most of the work on landing, even in airliners. I'm always full control over it once we get to the descent phase. But regarding anything that we do here with like auto throttle and setting up your altitude or heading or anything like that, I'm on top of with most of the planes now. Because once you get like the 172 down, a lot of the stuff kind of feels familiar, even though the avionic systems differ depending on the plane that you're in. So that's just kind of my feedback on there. And absolutely, Sir Quack, the checklist is a great thing to go through too, because then you kind of go through other stuff that you normally wouldn't if you just do like Control E all the time. And then, of course, you can find that under the airplane tab and then checklists. You can do all that. And if you don't know where it is, you can hit these buttons here. Some planes are better than others. There's some that don't highlight anything, and it's just weird. What am I looking at here? I think I've. Oh. Hang on. This was a terrible example here. I'm in the pre flight inspection. So there we go. Sometimes the camera goes right to it. Sometimes it can be a bit wonky, but it's a great way of learning a plane as well. If you're really interested in getting to the point. I don't really do cold and dark starts in career anyways, especially if I'm doing shorter missions. Like I'm not doing that every single time I do a mission. But if you're in free flight or whatever and you're wanting to do that, so it's a great way of learning it for sure. Honestly, wind is a bit of a weird one regarding just the beta and all that kind of stuff because we already know what it was like before Sim Update 1 beta, where the winds were just really crazy and so forth. But ever since the beta, there's only like a couple planes that get affected by wind. The Grand Caravan, and that's kind of like the only. Every other plane just feels like it never has any wind it deals with for some reason. So there's still some work to do with wind in the sim, especially in career mode. Because most of the time, honestly, I forget wind even exists. Because most planes seem to just not care about it or interact with it. It's weird to explain it, but hopefully that makes sense. But if you're in a Grand Caravan, it's basically a hurricane all the time. And when it isn't, it becomes a hurricane before you get to your airport. And I don't think any of that stuff's been fixed. So if you've been having issues with that first mission of medium cargo with the Grand Caravan, and you're dealing with like 800 knot crosswinds, I still think that's in the sim. But yeah, wind is a weird one for sure because it's just most planes don't seem to be affected by it or even showcase that it is windy because I don't know how to get wind on this specifically. But even if it's like a 50 knot crosswind, it seems. Oh no, there it is. It is already here. So I believe this is saying it's 10 knots, or is it 60 knots? Well, if it's a crosswind of 60 knots, this is what I'm talking about. Like, just. Oh yeah, we are crabbing a little bit. But once you get to the airport, you're really hardly ever dealing with any crosswind or difficult landings on most of the planes in career. Really, just that's weird. That's the Vision Jet for me is one of those planes that seem like it never gets affected by anything or turbulence or any of that. And Barkus, that's an again. Somebody brought up the PC-24 pressurization. I've flown probably over 130 missions, and I never had any issues with pressurization with the Pilatus PC-24. I've just only known about the PC-12 having its pressurization issues, but the 24, I never had any issues with that. But so far, so good. Nothing warning wise. We're not losing oxygen. We still have the purple or the pink or magenta details up here, which we didn't have the last time we did this flight. Jaden, regarding night flights, I have some news for you on that. It's not in here currently, but we're not too far away from it. Regarding night flights in career, uh, mission difficult. Oh no, where is it? There it is. Mission distribution on the world map has been improved, including VIP charter missions and night missions. These career mode changes will arrive later following the release of Sim Update 1. So it'll be like a hot fix or something like that, a smaller update that'll be introducing that. And I think we'll actually have normal night flights as opposed to it just being those red dot missions. Thankfully. And for the most part with the 737 in career, you're typically always getting stuck in that uh the cutscene sometimes too, where it just kind of auto starts it. But yeah, definitely still work to do. Of course, I mean it isn't just 100% fixed now, unfortunately. But I'm just glad we finally have Sim Update 1. I mean, it felt like it was taking forever to come out. So and of course, since we are talking about career mode, you'll be happy to know that the base payout for a lot of missions is going to be increased as well at a later date following the release of Sim Update 1. Aerial advertising is getting a 12.5% increase. Aerial agriculture in a plane is getting a 75% increase. Aerial agriculture rotorcraft is getting a 32.5% increase. Aerial firefighting extended attack and initial attack are getting a 35% increase. Cargo transport aerial construction, 30% increase, with a hook an 8.7% increase. Search and rescue airplane and rotorcraft are getting a 33% increase, and rotorcraft with a hoist a 66% increase, and skydiving plane is getting a 91% increase. One thing that needs to be included in that list is medevac. That needs an absolute boost. You get such little pay for long flights, so I'd like to see that included in that list there. Don't think so. Should be fine. I mean, it might be a little off. We'll see. Nope, because I already did the barometer before that, and it stayed at 30,000 when we were set there. Because we're running into a bit of turbulence now, or bobbing around, which is nice to see. Because medevac's like 50,000 or something, right? And you're doing 2-hour flights and so forth. It's like, what in the world is this? I get like 1.2 million from a 2-hour PC-24 cargo mission. Unbelievable. That's why I quit doing those missions. I mean, they're fun to do, but that payout just sucks. It's not worth the time to do those missions at all. So that's why I'm kind of surprised Medevac isn't in that list. And George Washington, the marketplace is not available yet. It sounds like they're really close to releasing that. I would assume Monday or Tuesday next week it'll go live. Because again, their official statement regarding that was this. Many of you are eagerly anticipating the inclusion of the marketplace. We are excited to share that the marketplace is coming shortly, as we are making final tweaks to ensure it meets everyone's expectations. Compare fuel quantity. We're good. It's fine. It's fine, computer. All right, thanks for stopping by, Sir Quack. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy some Sim Update 1. Oh, man. Yep, once I bought my own plane for it and I saw that price on your own freelance mission, I was just like, oh, this isn't worth it. Sold it, and that was that. Just was not worth it in the slightest. Unfortunately, because again, I do enjoy doing those missions, but payout is not very good at all. May as well head out again. Haven't been outside in a little bit. If you're just joining, we're testing to see how things are with the pressurization of the PC 12. Which let me, I mean, again, they need to clarify what's going on here because the way it's worded, and it's under a change list, that's why everything that should be on this change list should be fixes. Because if there's just listing random stuff that people know, like, it shouldn't be under a change list, it should be under a known issues thing, you know? But let me see what it was listed under the PC 12 again. If I can find it. There's the PC6. There we go. Because yeah, these are all actually fixes. Because it lists. Let me be inside so you can actually hear me, just in case it's too loud. Because it lists the plane, and then it says Coronado fixed Pilatus PC12NG, and then it lists everything that was there. I think some of them are just worded weird, like they were just showing what they worked on instead of just saying this was fixed. But anyways, because I mean there was a lot of fixes for it, but it was mentioning the pressurization system inoperative and so forth. Because I mean, if they really did add stuff that people know is broken into a change list, it wouldn't make any sense. So, because if there is anything that's a known issue, there is stuff that's listed that way. We saw that a couple times on some of the topics. But again, that's what we're here to do. We're here to just test it out. Earlier in the stream, if you're coming in now, We did test out other things like the R-66 Robinson helicopter that you were never able to complete missions with. You can now do so, which is really awesome to see. And a bunch of other tweaks regarding career and so forth. Joshua, I don't even play career anymore, but watching you is so enjoyable because you're so chill. I fly on VATSIM now. Nice. That's awesome, Joshua. But yeah, I always try to keep this environment for all my content. Welcome to the stream, by the way. And to everybody else. Oh, there it is. And there it is. Risk of mission failure, lower altitude. Man. But see, now we know. It does not work. Now when somebody says it does, we know it doesn't. Thanks for doing the update stream. Been listening while doing taxes. Oh no. Random question, but do you know if Navigraph works in career mode? I do not know. I don't use any of those third-party programs pretty much. But hopefully somebody that does use Navigraph can give you that information. So obviously they still got work to do because we know the Bonanza. I mean, the Bonanza didn't list anything that said that was fixed, but yeah, that's a shame. So the PC-12 is still not going to be purchased by me. See, that's the thing I don't understand. They said that I don't think they should have ever said this because I always think about this. They said that planes can be fixed server side. They don't require updates. So why hasn't that been utilized? That's my question. Because right now it seems like planes still need sim updates in order to be fixed. But they said that they can be server side fixes and so forth. But we haven't seen that utilized yet. I wish they would utilize it because, I mean, it's just disappointing to get these planes that have had the same issue since launch continue to have that same issue. You know, it's just, it's quite annoying for sure. What else is annoying is I don't get the 185 in career mode. Like, why is a first party plane not being able to be. I'm going to sell that stupid ES-30 too. Yet another plane that has been broken forever. Just get out of my list. I'm done with you. I'm not fixing you either. Just take the loss on it. And I think somebody already said this too, but the 737 is still obnoxiously priced for a used aircraft for whatever reason. What is this noise? We're in this. What is happening? Love it. Oh, we've exited the wind tunnel, apparently. It's a wind tunnel in my company menu for. Okay. Fantastic. Good stuff. That's great. You know what? I want to fly the 787. That's what I want to fly. I need to fly something that doesn't explode on me. But yeah, not sure what in the world that wind tunnel nonsense was in the main menu, but okay. It does worry me though that first party planes don't immediately support career mode. I'm worried that third party developers are also not going to support career mode cuz really for me if your plane doesn't have career mode support, I'm probably not going to buy it. Cuz most of my time is spent in career mode. I don't really like doing free flight just to do a random flight and then that's it. I mean, we were doing Neo Fly stuff before. I got rid of it just cuz I don't know. I just didn't. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but I just didn't want to put more time into that and then leave this because The career mode in here can be really cool, but they got some work to do. No doubt about it. How to get a company? I haven't had that question in a while. You get a company by getting to, I believe, 30,000 credits is when that unlocks in career mode. Fly the A320neo? I haven't had much luck. Oh my, who the heck is, who's, what, get this, who's in a citation in my parking spot? This is unbelievable. Honestly, the Airbuses never really load well for me. I mean, I can try the Neo. I honestly haven't flown an Airbus since it hasn't been in career. I still don't understand why there's no Airbuses in career mode. It's only the 737. Oh, is the V2 the only one here that I don't like the? I mean, we can try it because the V2 did not load very well in 2020 for me. So we'll see. By the way, some aircraft have some new liveries really quick. Wanted to showcase that too. The Albatross actually had a pretty hefty update. The water effects have changed. The prop animation's been overhauled. But there's a Canadian livery for it, I guess. Hang on. Let me just showcase that really quick. I mean, honestly, there's not really a fast way in the beginning because you're kind of just stuck with, like the Cessna 17. Okay, hell, I guess I'm not going to show the liveries. Unless it's the G111. Well, I can't change. Where's the menu? What is happening? Well, anyways, take my word for it. There's another livery for the thing, but okay. Whatever. Anyways, back to the 320. Can I change the livery here, or is it going to be just empty? Nice. Okay. Great. Definitely some regression on some things, for sure. They also need a way to take care of maintain a lot of aircraft at once. I have 80 Vision jets and it's a pain to maintain. Oh my goodness. But I agree, especially even if you didn't have 80 of the same planes, once your company grows a lot, that would definitely be helpful. Oh, he's floating. Hmm. Now that is a very impressive goat. But anyways. Oh, what was that? Because there's a weird thing for me with Airbuses. Um, well, I don't know why. Oh, hang on. Now the stream's probably gonna. Oh, if the stream starts freaking out, let me know. Because last time I had frame rate things going on, OBS was freaking out. I think it's freaking out because of goats playing in my way. Oh, I know why it looks this way. I have a third-party airport, so we're seeing the default elevation of the airport. So that's why he's floating. Forgot about that. And the reason we have a third party airport is because our default airport for Colorado Springs is a mess with hills everywhere. Okay, hang on. Is this going to be a pain to do? I want to see if it's been fixed. We may as well test that out because I haven't looked at it. Hang on. Oh, okay. Why can't you just get to the My Library? Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. Now it's gonna do it again. If the stream is looking like it's freaking out, it should be fine. We'll see. But let me see here. I knew that was gonna happen because every time it freaks out, yeah. See, that's not what the sim actually looks like. I don't think it's worth streaming at 1440 because it freaks OBS out way too much. But we should be good now. Anyways, let me disable that because I want to see what the base sim Colorado Springs looks like because it's been a mess since it released, and I doubt anything changed. Unless I can spawn somewhere away from Goat. So we'll see. I joined the beta and lost all my bindings. Is there a way to get it back? I have no idea. When did Star Citizen make airplanes? But yeah, now if we were over there, it would be normal. But yeah, see I can already tell the airport's still a mess. The runway is sunk in for some reason. Like I don't know, because the airport was perfectly fine in 2020, so I'm not sure how it explodes here. Let me get inside the plane so I can get in showcase. But yeah, this is my home airport, and it's so disappointing that it's like that, which is why I have that third-party one, but I just want to see if anything was fixed. Because this isn't sunk in like that. But now if we go over to Goat, we'll see him actually where he's supposed to be. Because if you have a third-party airport, you're going to see other people at a... At least I'm actually seeing their citation instead of it being a random plane, though. That's nice. I don't think that's been fully fixed, though. This runway doesn't look as bad, but it's still sunk in when it shouldn't be. But alright, anyways, let's fly the Neo if we can get off the ground here. Just do it. Oh, this toolbar. I swear, sometimes it's just... Oh, okay. Interesting. Stream's gonna freak out again. I just don't have luck with airliners. It's just, anytime I spawn one in, it's just... And that's what I'm talking about with the Airbuses. I don't know what it is, but the stream's gonna start freaking out again, and it already is. Yeah, I can't. I don't know what it is, but my PC just does not like the airliners. It just freaks it out. And it doesn't help that I stream at 1440. I'm gonna get rid of that after this stream. I'm done dealing with it because OBS just doesn't like it apparently. Oh man. Well, anyways, how long have we been going here? 3 hours and 14 minutes. I'm probably gonna wrap it up there, folks. Even though we have 155 people here, which is awesome. But now that the update's out, we're gonna be going into career mode again. I'll probably do some videos talking about specific things, seeing if anything else is improved. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this 1440p crap. I mean, it's nice that it's doing that, but I mean that's the other thing too. I mean, any builds does make cool planes, but I'm not gonna spend $86 for like the A350, right? Is that the one that came out? But yeah, it's just any builds planes. I mean, the Dreamlifter doesn't give me any problems. It's just like the the passenger airlines that always give me crap. I don't know why. And yet when it's doing that crap of whatever, it's just maybe 32 frames per second or something like that. I don't know why OBS is freaking out, but it's not what you're seeing on the stream. It's definitely not a slideshow, so that's why I'm going to get rid of that after this stream. So again, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Hopefully this informed you about things that were fixed and unfortunately were not fixed. But hopefully this is a sign of things that we can finally get rolling and move on from this first 3 months of just nonsense. So, thank you guys, and I will talk to you guys next time.